Check this out. Look what's going on. It's so cool. I'm really here for just questions, answers. It's going to be a slow video. Perhaps I will be showing you something old, something new, and because of participation, although I'm a little embarrassed, right? My participation rate for me, for my desire, is low. How low? I don't know if you can go any lower, but for those who are participating, I am going to give you the highest level of appreciation. The only reason I am here today is because besides the angels that are around me. Now, what are these angels? What are these angels? How do the angels work? Let me just go see if I can go live over here. There's usually something in here that says how to get more people to join the live. Hello, Robin. Are you still here? Says Robin joined, but did Robin leave? Right, I want to take a picture of this. How am I going to take a picture of this? Right, I need to take a picture of this. Right now, what I want to be doing, right now, I just want you to tell me something. I want to tell you a story, okay, about something you might ask me in numbers, right? These are actually numbers, but here it's numbers, right? I took out the B. What does the B represent? What does the A represent? Who is doing the representation? Pick me. How about pick you? Where am I from? Good question. Do I answer you like I'm supposed to know? Like one of the rules of talking or answering questions is that when you answer the question and you're thinking of multitudes of realities. Hello, Dennis. You play Roblox? Do you know Tower of Defense? Dennis? Or something like that. Something Tower of Defense, right? If you know about it, let me know. Right? Okay. There's a new one that came out like 3 years ago, right? Well, if you look behind me, all you see is a white wall. But sometimes, right, standing right over there by that white wall is the creator of Tower Defense. And I know him since he's this big. He literally never sleeps. Constantly, that game that he created is constantly, I just can't say it enough, but this guy is flying. He has like some internal flight ship in his mind. You know, he might look at you, right? But when it's time to come to work, what can you call it? Pinky blinders? Just like he's seen, but he's just seen the stripes, right? What are those stripes? What are all the lines? Which reminds me is, what is Union Jack? So let me look. Thank you, Rizzler. You're a YouTuber, Dennis? You're a YouTuber. Oh my God, it's so cold out here. Did you say tube? How about test tube or tire tubes? And we can take a round tire tube and go all the way down the mountain. Or we can take a straight one like a straw. So now we have a straw tube, we have a tire tube. So now if we put the straw through the tire, that would be like an arrow or a flesh, the flesh being the skin, the flesh also noted to be the spirit going through the heart of the soul of the tire, the ring around your 1827. You know your 1827. Does anybody know about 1827? Thank God for the Creator, for all that has ever been created for who we are today, because we are not who we think we are. We are the final, we're like the calculator, right? With the final answer. That's just going to go back to the Creator. And it's like we're really playing the game. Yapper of Japanese. Is that the name of your game? Japanese Nation? I'm going to write that down. I'm not a gamer. Are you the one who created the game, or are you the one who plays the game? You know, so where were we? So we have all these tire tubes, and now I have to write down the word tube because you have to write down everything. Oh my God. And I like to put a little excitement into it like it is a game, because this is all a game. We have all the pieces and parts. Let's talk like George Carlin. I got ABC, I got DEF, but if I had ABCD, or revert that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, I got 10. One and 9, 10, 7 and 3, 10, 2 and 8, 10, 4 and 6, 10. My star 10. Here's my star 10. So when I did 1, 2, 3, 4, they came together with 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that nice little S letter, or the 5. They were equal in 4 areas over here, and then they both connected to this area. The 6, these 4 come into here, 5 areas. These 4 connect to the 5th area. 5 and 5 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. Me in the star system of 9/11. Now, I was talking about the tire tube. So what I'm trying to get to is every word can tell a multitude of stories. And then if you only finish with tube, I mean, I will have different kinds of shapes. And different kinds of shapes will have different kinds of connections. This is a utopia world. The building of this world is utopia. And why I say utopia is because you build it, you find the pieces that are absolute, that 99.999% of the people are going to agree that when you look at this calculator, right, in order, let's say you went upon a judge and the judge says, what is this? And the judge has a book, and in the book it says calculator. So I go on and I say, hey, search engine, what's a calculator? And guess what? It shows me this. And I go, what are these? And the builder says, it's area space. The builder just says, it's area space, right? And in the area space and they're under construction, I will tell you to put something here, 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 and here. Why? Because I'm building a bed frame and I need to understand my coordinate space. Now, my question also is, why would I add A1, A2, A3? Why would I say triple A? Well, if you can design the A, design 3 of them. Design them with their legs touching, overcrossing. Design them with their legs like this. Design them with a separation. Each one of these designs are going to dictate the area space you use. And we all know, right, that the beginning of your first A is going to be right here, not here. There is your first one. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I saw that number before, right? I don't remember who it is. I think it was Cian. Wow, I usually need to answer that, but so anyways, yeah, I don't like to see things that change my mind of thinking, like going back to this real world, like for a second. So we have the letter A. Now, what I'm going to do over here next, right, is I want to take this A and I want to frame it. I want to put it in a frame. So I drew up one line here and one line here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it like above is below. So with this, I will see the spread of the feet. And as I spread the feet, I'm going to see A entrapped between H. But in my house, in my own vision, when I take a look at A, I also see the cap of where D and C resides. Now my question is, see we have the I going this way to the H. I'm going to do it like this for now. Is that okay? Is that okay? So now we have the I with the H and I need a glass of water. But just to show you, found this on the dog walk today, right? The dog sniffed it out. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm going to get a glass of water and answer the phone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now it's very interesting that what just happened on YouTube. It's like 20 people show up. It's like almost every single time, and it always goes down to 0. So I'm like worth watching 5 minutes. Okay. So I have to swallow that because I'm worth watching every single day for 5 minutes at any point of the 5 minutes of the 1, 2, 3, or 4 hours that I come here. This is the way I have to take it, because I think that if I say this, okay, and I put the analogy for yourself, that I don't have 24 hours a day to listen to this person. So let me jump in, listen to 5 minutes. Hopefully I get something that I can use in my life. Like, whoa, that was refreshing. I just completely forgot about everything else. So by watching me, you're either going to gain something from it, or you're going to say, thank God, I may as well be at home not watching. So you're always going to gain something from it. But you don't have all day. So if you pick and choose your 5 minutes and you come in, it's like a lottery ticket. When you come in to watch a channel, it's like a lottery ticket. Sometimes you hit because your extension, when you go on break at work, it's 15 minutes. Well, that's the most amount of time, like, I think you should be sitting here, is 15 minutes. Pick your best 15 minutes, like a lottery, open it up, and was it worth your time? Right? Every day is a little bit different. So if you come here with a question during those 15 minutes or 5 minutes that you're here, and I can get to your question, I see your question, and I answer your question, right? How is the payoff now that you had a question answered for just a little bit of your time? We made a straight exchange. Look at that. I paid you with my mouth. You gave me something for free, and I paid you with my mouth. Now, the next time you make a decision based on what you thought about or what you asked, you're going to say, hey, that was well worth my time. That is well worth my time. I don't know I just had something that popped into my head, right? And it was something about an apple. The apple don't fall far from the tree. The apple don't fall far from the tree. I'm thinking, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And whoa, I got tree, apples. Would you agree I have tree apples. Do apples come from a tree? Yes, apples come from a tree. Therefore, there are tree apples. Et moi, je viens de Québec, là, puis quand je parle, faut que je parle anglaise, faut que je parle de française, et des fois, maintenant, c'est espagnol. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, la carrito. Then we go back and we bring all the raspberries back. And you know what's funny? Is that I learned a little bit about people from different nations, right? Like, there's people who speak Creole, and not all of them, and mostly the men, okay, they keep sticking their hand on the other side of the raspberry bush because they can get all those raspberries as quick as possible, and they prefer not to go down where they're rotting, right? Too hard to pick, right? And it slows you down. So I had a discussion, right, with the farmer that runs this raspberry farm. I says, why don't you let the same, two people, right, go on their own row, right? Why do you do that? And the answer was, maybe they'll miss all the strawberries, right? So I said, why are you putting 4? Why don't you let 2? And it was always an answer that never made logical sense for me, because I calculated this intact, that I don't want somebody on the other side of me, okay, picking both sides of the strawberries. It's just not fair. And then when you individualize, you can see who's not picking the strawberries well, and don't bring them back to work, or have somebody pick over them, or just leave them there because it's not worth the money for the value. You follow what I'm saying? There's a cost and a value. There's a work logic, right, to this. Imagine, like, I'm a little on numbers, but I like to sometimes talk about logic, Imagine you send people, okay, because you don't have a machine. If we had all machines, we wouldn't need the people. So what would the people do? They'd grow their own gardens and work for themselves. But there's no more land because we've been pushed to the center, because life is not the utopia it was made out to be. But yet on paper, okay, the world we live in is constantly moving. And through the alphabet, through the numbers, through games, and the association of these numbers and words that have been put into categories, summarized, the same way if I took out a book, this whole thing, we have a patent for sperm. We have a patent for the egg. Yes, they do. Okay, why do you need a patent for it? Right? They can say it's animal, but they got patents for this. Yes, they do. You can look it up right now. You have to see where there's not a patent. Look for where there's not a patent on something. Okay, and try to look at life, understanding all aspects. Like somebody asked me where I live. What does it mean where I live? Where my bed is, right? Where I eat breakfast, where I return to, what is my home address? My home address is right here. It's where I choose and I feel comfortable, is where you choose to make that your earthly address. Where you're going to create your little fire while you breathe in your air with thought, your dragon, right? Your dragon, huff and puff. Huff and puff came the wolf, and huff and puff came the dragon. So if you're trying to follow my story now, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm just tying up all little relationships. Well, what does red have to do with anything? It's a little red dog. Well, it could be a hot dog, because hot is red. Hot is number 43. 4 and 3 is D and C. The 4th planet is Mars. The 3rd planet is Earth. Earth, 3rd planet, we have Trinity. If we go to our keyboard and we look at number 3, it comes with the pound key. I go to the pounds and it becomes, look, it's the dog pound. Usually don't say the cat pound. It's more often not the dog pound. How come they don't have any cat chasers out there? Why is it always they have dog chasers out there? So now we know we have the dog chase. We have the dog chase, right? So that's 26, and chase is 24, 35, and chase is 36. I like that. They're one palier, one level up, right? You know, 26 to 26 and 36 equals 11. But once you finish with 26, right, this is the way it happens. Let me show you. 26 to 35 and 27 to 36. See, if I was counting this, these are my end joints. But I'm not the dog, I'm the cat. Or I'm the chase. Well, I'm not the chase, I'm the dog. So the dog is 26. If I had this cube, I can only sit on one point, right? I'm going to sit on one point, tuck. I'm going to have the other point up. I'm not going to touch the other point. So I take 26 and I go to 35. If I want the other point, I flip it over. I have to flip it over. I have to flip this over 180 degrees to do it. Here is the 3, and look, and here is the 4, and here is the 3, and here is the 4, and here is the 3, and here is the 4, and here is the 3. The movement, 18, 180, 3 by 6, 2 by 9. The IT system rotation of the system 10. Where you have the connecting star, 1, 2, 3, 4. Connecting 2, 4, 6, 8 numbers. But every one is 10. 8 and 10, Deca October. Cynthia jumped that in. Come on, let's go, Sin City. Let's go, Sin City. They call it Sin City, right? And in Sin City, there's also Area 51 in the state of Nevada. Sin City. Three and 19 equals 57, equals 30, equals 27. Just trying to see what's happening with my situation. Sin City, SI, is going to be a connection to what Area 51 is. S looks like a 5, I looks like a 1. But the S, okay, that looks like a 5, okay, is going to be equivalent So we're going to have this situation over here. Sin City. This looks like a 5. This looks like a 1. Area 51. 5-1. Area 25. Jack. 1. 34. 34 DC. 34 CD. Right? Area 51. 5. Just give me a minute. 42. 34. Okay, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, This is what's going to happen in Sin City. Do we want to see what's going to happen in Sin City? But before, oh yes, very good. That was huge. Okay, yes, yes, very. Oh, I like that. Oh my God. WKRP. Cincinnati. Natty. C. Cincinnati. OHIO. Oh yeah, I worked on this a long time ago. The OHIO. Oh yeah, I know. Hi ho. The oh my God. If I can understand a little bit more what all these numbers mean, I know the 9 is a birth. I know it's connected to the E worlds. It must be that everything on every level is connected and possibly passed through Ohio as one of the hubs. Remember, we have hubs all over. There's hubs all over. I know there's a FedEx hub in Tennessee, so we have to understand this hub. There's a lot of stuff. Hello, Anat Salam. Hi, yes. So the backwards way of salam is malice. When you hear that word, it's not a very nice word. But inside salam is also Allah. You can also use it and use the word of ale within that word. Now, hold on a second. Just the thing moves. The A letter tends to tell me, I'm just trying to see, because a lot of times I like to use it in the at sign. I don't like to use it alone. I like to capitalize it. So it could be telling me life, like it'll be the 90 angle, right? But it's telling me life and then life, okay, within one. And just it's hold on a second. It becomes 131. So right away, 131 is going to be located with the moon. The Allah is within the moon. 131. It'll create the AC/DC power. In the AM, you're going to have 1 through 13, and that, okay, is going to connect your 9/11, your singular moon, into the double moon of Mars. That's where your AM is going to connect you. Your AS, okay, which is like 5 and 1, your vibration is going to come between those two. It'll be 1.5, also relating to the 1/4 house, because 1/5 is 1/4 of the 60, although it's 60 is only 1/6 of the 360, which is only 1/4 of the 1440, which is only 1/6 of the 86 400 seconds in the day, which is 1/3 of the 25,900 of the great cycle. Should I do that again? So you have S and M coming together is 32. So 32 is the pig, 32 is the pig and the lion, almost like in the Lion King. It will be the in one, it'll be a 7 will be the difference. So there's a gateway between the Leo and the pig, or between Aquarius, right, and Leo. It seems that we're inside of maybe that area right now. The other areas are connected from another time zone, or don't always come into this zone. When certain astrological signs come into the zone, other astrological signs will leave the zone, right? You can't have all 12 astrological signs, okay, in the same zone all the time. And remember, there's angles, and as they turn to all their angles, the distance changes. So what you might think is above you can be outside the house instead of inside the house, as all these areas or the star system turns. So we're never going to be more than an 8 area space plus what the energy, the matter and the energy, whichever you want to put, that comes into who we are. We fill the gap. We're the receptors. So let me see that Cincinnati. Okay, Illinois, Zion. When you look at Illinois, that is like the weirdest word. I always use the letters N and O, almost like I use the L, M, and M, being the 12th and 13th to the left, being the 13th and 14th to the right, 14th and 15th to the right, What I'm talking about is L, M, and O. They're both 1 and 2 in their own domain in gematria. The M comes from the 13th letter. It becomes the first letter, and it faces the A letter, right? It faces the first position. See, now if I use the A letter, you might say to me, well, why don't you put 3 other areas with that A? Well, the A moves up, right? Moves up, goes from here, it also goes into here, and it's also located here. So each one of them on their level are telling different stories. Do they contradict each other? We have to look into that. There's a lot of different connections, crisscrossing connections. You might see all the crossings, right? But you have to just choose maybe one of the crossings. So I chose this crossing here. Somebody might want to choose this crossing here. Two, two, one, one. I don't know. Let me see what that is. Can we do it that way? So these are just some of the basic crossings. What is this? Has anybody seen this before? I'm going to get back with the questions right now. I'm going to hold this up and see if I can look down through the questions. So when you have Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, right, they say something about power. Chicago, C and H, 11, House of Bait. They also had, did Chicago have one of the original Black Hawk, right? We had the Black Hawk in Chicago. We have the Bears in Chicago. We have the Cubs. So we had the Chicago Bears. And now we have the Chicago Cubs. So we have the big bear and the small bear. So now if we have the Paul Bearer, or what about you look up into the zodiac signs, there's a big bear and there's, I think, a small bear. And I really need to put my mind into what's going on up there. If you told me, get on Highway 40, get onto Highway 44, jump onto Highway 80, get over to the 94 to the 96, hit the borderline, and then jump onto the 3 numbers, 401. You come into Canada, first way into Canada, like 401 from one end. Why are there 3? Why do we get communication all the way from Detroit, Michigan, Detroit Motors, the Power City, right? And it's a Goodyear. And then they drive all the way down to 401 and we come into Kiss My Ass. Sorry to say it that way, but that's what French to English is. In Quebec, okay, Q is ass. It's 17. Road to the gateway. Bec is to kiss. What are we kissing? We're bringing 2 systems together in Quebec. Now, does it mean ass? Or when you pull a mooner, right? Is it telling you to kiss one cheek? Or how do the 2 cheeks kiss? How would they put the 2 cheeks together to kiss? Would they leave it like this with the crack in the back? Would they turn sideways and do it this way? They'd cross over and they'd kiss it that way? Would there be a transfer? Does it really matter? But we have the power station north of Quebec. We also have a northern region, Greenland, which green is 49, and that word 49 is the ring. The pole in the ring fit right over here on 49. 22, 31, 55, 69, no, 55, 41. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me write this down. 4 equals 2, 2, which will be 5, 5. 4 equals 2, 2, which will be 8, 8. 4 equals 3, did 2, 5, and 8. Hold on, 4 equals 2, 2 is 4, 2, 2 is 4, 2 and 5. Okay, we got that. We got that. And then we had A 2, 2 equals, okay, we got the 7, we got the, okay, 2, 2 equals to 2, 2, life over life. Okay. Now 9 equals to 18, 27, 36, 45. 9 also equals to 1, 1, 4, 7. This one equals to 3, 6, 9. Wow, I should be writing this out. I'm going to do this real quick, and I'm going to take a 2-minute break to write this out properly so you can see it. Don't stop sending me all them hearts. I guess I sent myself, if you're seeing 600 hearts up there, I'm going to tell you right now, I sent myself 300 of them because I love me. I love me. Now, why would somebody love themselves? Why would somebody love themselves? It's not only about numbers, right? If you can decorticate numbers, you can tell stories, but why should somebody love themselves, right? Oh, don't you worry. There are things I don't like about myself. I'm very quiet. When it becomes serious, I become very quiet and I crawl under the rug. I rather not discuss it and live in my bubble. So, here it is. Look at that. Oh, you're so good. You're going to be 3 years old one day. Look what I did, Mommy. Look at that. Look at that. Now, I brought number 49 together. Okay. And I don't know if it's the 49th parallel, but if somebody wants to come and see, I'm going to finish with the Las Vegas and this. Take a couple of minute break. So if you let me look at your questions now, right? Okay. My day is connected together by a weld. By a weld. That's it. I'm that weld to my day. Okay, so let me write this down. We had number 49. Oh my God, I now have San Francisco. Now I got Cisco oil. Right, and now we've got 22. We have 31. But to the children in the room, we have 3 and 1. To the children in the room, instead of 49, we have 4 and 9. To the French people, we didn't have oil, we had the law. We wrote C and I for Cisco instead of S and I. Why didn't I write SIC for Cisco? What story does the C tell me different from what the S is telling me? So words and their spelling, yes, they have a story. C is a base in creation. The S will run into the moon. So I can just get you over to the moon, but I can't tell you the complete story at this time. So let me take a look. San Francisco, treat or retreat? Let me look at that. Hold on. Let me look at, I haven't looked at my TiCheConnectT because I'm on the big camera on TiCheConnectT. Something about that name, TiCheConnectT, you know. So let me see over here. Then I'm going to go ahead and do a few more designs. I need another computer here because there's some designs. I might have to shut down the camera to take a look at it, right? Yes, the construction of the constellation. I must see what it looks like. I don't care. I need it. I live in a utopia world where we are right now. It's utopia. I take everything for not what it could be, not what it sometimes is. I want to know exactly what it is right now. Now, if there's any changes, that like something that's every so often, I'll take it for an add-on. I'll take it and look at it like the hydrometer. Although the hydrometer or counter keeps ticking, it only every time it makes a full circle Or maybe every time you crank a car, right? You haven't cranked the car, right? Until you crank that crank up, it hits one of the dots, it locks into position, and now you crank it up again. Now it hits one of the dots, and now you crank it up again. The hydro goes around, and it goes click. And then this arm goes click. And then this arm moves 6 times, and then this arm goes click. And then after this arm moves 6 times, and this one goes click, and this one moves 6 times, so that's 36 times, then this one moves click. And that's 1 hour. 6, 6. But then there's literal smaller times where it's moving by the seconds. By the 1 second at a time. So on different levels of movement. So we had the 49. So now we have the 20. We have the 2. We did that. We had the 20. Oh, I did that already. Right. Now what I'm going to do is the 22. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 3 plus 1 equals to 4. Okay, I'm writing something out. So if you want to go somewhere, let me finish writing this out. I'm going to come back and show you, and we're going to talk about Sin City. We're going to talk about what 49 is. I don't even know how I got into 49. But we do know 4 and 9 is also 13, right? And 13, okay, is not, okay, 13, yes, it will be used. It will be used again, right? Even in French, right? More in French than in English. In English, 13 happens once. In English, okay, 10 happens once. In English, 80, just 80. In English, 80 is different from the other numbers. The 80 family is different from the other numbers. How French and English talk about the numbers and tell a different, how they give form by mentioning how the English language works and the differences. It gives a form. You can see something going on, how they're working together. They're the same numbers, but the two languages are now telling me that they're like, look, I can see myself in the mirror, but the mirror doesn't reflect. I'm here and here. On a computer mirror, right? See this left thumb, right? You see it over there, but here, right? I don't see it the same way. I see this one. I can't, right? I just have a hard time understanding my hands. See this one here? Okay. If I turn this around to show you, right? I'm not sure if you can see this. If you can see this camera. Can you see in this camera here? You can't see my thumb, right? You see my thumb? Look at the opposite sides it came onto. You see it? Look in the camera. Here's my thumb. Two different sides because one camera is flipped around. So let me check through these messages over here. Well, Hello, Sophia. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Jenny from a yellow and green colored flag. That's very interesting. Did you do that on purpose? Or is that blue? Is that Finland? It actually looks like a gift, right? You know, it's funny. They only wrap, when they wrap money up, the money is either it's wrapped this way, the money, right? Either you can wrap your money up in a roll and put a band around it this way, right? So you're putting it along this way so it's rolled up, right? Or money comes in a stack, right? Money comes in a stack. So the money stack, right? You put the band around the money this way. So one going around this way will get one numeric understanding. One going around this way will get another numeric understanding. I'm going to make myself some hot water. Okay, so now, is that what that is? The 122 longitude line? Please tell me yes, and tell me why. What do you think about why? Anything about 122? What's the story about 122? Right? Can somebody tell me the story about 122? Whoa, I'm back. Wow, this is crazy. The comments just jumped up from nowhere. So okay. I'm going to tell you my story about 122. First of all, there are so many little stories, everything gets categorized. So when I tell the beginning of my first story, okay, it's not where I'm going with it, right? I use that like as, because this is a comment somebody was asking me. We don't see that comment because one of them is YouTube and the other one is TiCHeConnectT. So 122, 212, 212 Fahrenheit is 100 Celsius. Apparently, it is the boiling point. 121 brings you to 363, or two males with two suns within them connected at gate 6 within inside of you. You're connected to two suns. Not sure if that's one sun in you, the one sun in the sky, and possibly the global sun, which is the sun that nobody sees. It's the white sun. It's the invisible sun. That invisible sun, the only reason you don't see it is because you're living in it. You're living in the sun right now. When it's so close to you, it's pieces and parts and particles. It's matter and energy. You breathe it. You are living in 555. 5 times 5 times 5 is 1.25. There are 1.25 days added on to the 13th moon at 364 plus 1.25. In all actuality, it's 1.47. Time allotted. Did I say that right? Let me write that out and make sure I said that right. It's 1.25, right? But add on. Okay, no. This is the allotted time at the end. Right here. Let me write that out with a better pen. Right here. Now you can say, oh, your math is so good. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. That's so good. So you have 364 days plus 1.25 equals to 365.25. We made that perfect, didn't we? So 122 times 3, right, is going to equal to 366. But, okay, but I have to see if it's 366. Just give me a second. 1.47, 366. This will give me 365. I'm just trying to put something together. I forget. I never created that equation before. 66 is going to tell me about the three worlds gate. the gate within us, and the gates we live between. 122 times 3 is that 366. 122, 122, 122. It goes from 363 to 366. What's inside? 4 and 5. It's the sun gate. It's the passage in the sun gate, and that's why the word fox, okay? The word fox, 666. Reverse 888, which is HQZ, which is headquarters. The total is 51, like an area 51. With 888 is 111, with 666 is 333. What you have in dot, you have in void. But with the 6, you double up. And with the 3, you double up. 3, 4, 5, 6, you double up. 9 is everywhere, except where it's not. Because 9 travels through 5, so where it's not, the 5 is at the realm, or the E. E, 5, I, 9. Not for nothing that it looks 5 and I look like 51, like Area 51. Like it's, if the Area 51 might be the E-World Pass for all those electronics. Why did we build Sin City? I don't know. But in the word sin is 19 and 9, meaning, hey, I've connected the moon, okay, the electronic sun, and the birth. And when you connect the 9 birth, okay, when you connect the 9 birth with the S, you connected 1 and 9, 10, 2 and 8, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 4 and 6, 10. I'm going to show you through this picture, which is also going to help you understand Rubik's Cube and all the colors on Rubik's Cube. And did you know there's 3 polar colors on Rubik's Cube? Right? I'm going to have to go and get out my Rubik's Cube and see the colors now. And I don't have any computers because I'm using them to transmit at this moment. I'm going to get back to their... I'm going to look at that for a second, Jenny. Just give me a second. So I'm saying we live inside the sun because when something is so huge, you are only seeing the particles. But when the sun is so huge, and you're so far away, okay? If I took this and brought it all the way so far away, you couldn't see it at all, right? Imagine if there were 100,000, a billion of these. No, that's not a good way to do it. I need to see how to do it. You can't see anything when it's just one dot. Can't see it. You just can't see that one tiny dot. But when you put a billion small dots, you see it, right? So right now, right, we're inside the sun. We're not a distance away. We're in it. So we can't see it. We can't see what it's doing from a distance away. But guess what? Others can see it. And I'm going to just show each and every one of you what this looks like. Explain it. I'm just going to tell the other group what I just did when I disappeared. Okay, I fell back behind a few things. I just read, Michelle, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yes, I am with you. And I understand, like I mentioned before, if you only have 10 minutes, this is like a crapshoot when you come here. You only have 10 minutes. You can't watch me for hours and hours and hours. And I completely understand. Somebody said to me, a friend of mine said to me, well, why don't you do 10-minute videos? Why don't you do like 20-minute videos? I said, because I never know what I'm going to talk about. In the middle of my long video, I think there's sometimes it's fulfilled with a lot of information that you might need. You might like the story or something like that. And other times it's going to be like a crapshoot. Why did I waste my time here? So you can jump in and out. And the best thing, like I mentioned to some people, that if you're looking to understand something, a situation, to learn something about numbers, what do you think about these constellations? It gives me a chance to go in and study it myself. I'm learning the same time. I'm learning the same time. If you think you're learning, well, very often I'm learning with you. I didn't know any of this 20 years ago, and I didn't hear your question 20 years ago, but I heard the question now. So if you jump in here with the question, you know you haven't wasted your time. If I give you an answer, whether it satisfies you or not, at least you should be satisfied that it's not on your chest anymore, right? It's not in your treasure chest, sitting in your lungs, all that water you breathe in, sitting in your lungs, waiting to get past to your heart, waiting to go through and exhilarating in your body, right? And right? So now you have what they call poumon. Just give me a minute. I have to blow my nose. We're going to take a 1 minute. I'm getting some hot water. I'm going to make some hot water. It says fill the beans. Spilled the beans. I spilled the beans. I spilled the beans. Yeah, so I was thinking, there's this show, I forget what the name of the show is, right? And it's all the silliest shows, like I couldn't really watch it, the Truman Show, you know? I had trouble watching it until a friend of mine made me recognize certain things that were in the Truman Show, right? And, hold on. And I already saw the Truman Show, and I just couldn't handle how stupid everything was. But it wasn't how stupid that it was. It was so true that it was like, it was too much. It was just too much at one time. And you just can't, this piece here and that, this, and there's so many connections that I just couldn't watch it. And I went back on, off. But for some reason, there wasn't enough of the story where there was too much information. When there's too much information, just like on this channel, sometimes it's not easy. So if you come here with a question, okay, let me read back down who's here. Cincinnati was huge. That's 2 times sin, right? Sin, Cincinnati, right? Sin. So you're going to go 395, 395. Or you're going to go 395, 3 and, oh, 9 is between 3 and 5. Okay. I still have to understand what's happening, because if 9 was in between 3 and 5, right? That means you have a connecting, I'm understanding, if you have all the 9, you might have the connecting star, which means if I have it, I'll have 1 and 8, 9, right? To make up 9, or I can use 1 and 9, 10, right? And I have the star, 1 and 9, 10, 2 and 8, 10, 3 and 7, 10, 4 and 6, 10. Or because it's between 3 and 5, okay, the 9, I'm going to have the 3 and 7, 10. That's going to come in. The 4 and 6, 10. That's going to come in. Do you understand? I have the 3 here and the 5 here. These are my bookends. The number that should be in the middle is number 4, but the number that is in the middle is number 9. So I'm going to say in the 4th house, okay, are going to be these connections. Everything that connects to number 9, or is it the maximum connection? Well, if it was 0, they might be talking about the connecting star. And if it was 0, they'll be talking about left wing. Why I say this is if you look on your keyboard, you will see on the 0 is the half moon going this way. You will see on the 9, the half moon going this way. So if they have the 0 in between the number, right, they're going to tell me about the half moon going this way. Does that tell me a set of numbers? If I do this, the half moon going this way, is it telling me 1, 2, 3, 4? Is it telling me that the 0 area or the operator area, right, okay, where the operator, okay, is in the E world position, where the 5 key is, right? Where the 5 number is. Just 1 second, I lost my trend of thought. 1 through 9, 1 through 9. Yes, okay. The 0 versus the 1. If the 0 was there, yes, on my count is 10. It's a 10 count. When the 1 is there, it's a 9 count. Sorry, it was the 0 or the 9. The 0 or the 9, right? The 0 or the 9. I'm also thinking, okay, because there's other numbers that go along with the 0, the 9, and the 1. 1, 5, and 9 each have something in common. And what they have in common is the 1 is here, letter A. The 3 is here with the 1 inside, letter C with B inside, ABC. Right? And then on the last one, right? On the last one is over here. And that's the letter E. You just said ace, and in the word ace are all 3 passing zones. Let's just call it that. And no matter which way we go with this, right? It's always going to be in the center. These, you will always see them. Why? Because no matter what you do, this corner here is always corner number 3. But the 5 moves into its position. Or sorry, the 7 moves into its position. Or the 3 moves back into its position. Or the 1. But when you flip this around, nine, 3, 1, 7, top. I'm not even sure which way it is. 9 and 3 up here, 7 and 9 up here. Do you follow what I'm saying? No matter how we turn this, right? But no matter how much we turn it, the 5 is always in the center. See the way the 2 looks like a 7? The 5 looks like a 2. When you flip it up the other way, possibly they reverse themselves. The 8 looks the same every way except when we put it this way. When the calculator's this way, right? We show the 8 eternally. And see this one over here? If I use this design, I do down here, over here, up here, down here, over here. See this design over here? I'm not going to use it with this because the fonts are not the same, right? And look, they become the yin and yang. The 6 can hook up to the 9. So we'd have to understand the artwork when we put these numbers together. So we're going on a 2-minute break, right? I'm going to read all the questions and get back with you. 122 is huge again, and I do want to finish with that. Okay, the 122, the 122, the 122. Yes, when you move the 5 times 5 times 5, I like to say the 51, okay, equals to the MORSE. And you are going to get the letter O. When you get the letter O, you will get the L. When you do the 52, you are going to get the earth. You will get this. Give me a second. Why did I put O? Why did I put O? Just give me a second. I know why I put O, but there was another reason for it. I need to explain it. I have to slow down. Sorry, it takes time. One, two, three, four. Passing through the star system 3 times in order to grab Mars. Wow, I don't remember. 5. Oh, maybe it's a 5 times 5 times 5 equals to the 15 O, right? The 15th letter of Mars is O. The L is the 12th letter. Now, what's left? Oh, yes. Okay. The Earth is the... Give me a second. I really need to go on break. Let me show you this. Okay. We're in the E world, right? So that's the E. So we're in the E world. That's the E. The reverse is V. You get 555, that's 15. That's the letter O. The reverse is L. We now create love. We have the 0.22. At the end of the cycle, we have to add on the 1.25. Okay, now what is that 0.22? I like to say it's the ring. The voided area on this ring is 22. The total areas are 54 for the sun system that we live in, for the occupation of life of the area space. The 22nd letter is V. The 5 and the 4 is the V. 2 and 2 equals to that 4. 5 and 4, the fox pass in the sun system that was within our heart, the sun that we live in, and the sun that shines. It cannot be denied that what you can't see because of all the molecules. Do we have, what molecules does it take? What are in the sun? What is the truth about how do you make a sun, right? If you can see this all around us, then we live in the sun. But then we can say, oh no, that sun that's in the sky, that's where you're getting all that. Well, what if that one sun and some other sun send their energies into this sun and create a survival sun that we live within? And you breathe the air and you think. It goes into your lungs, the air goes into your heart, and the hydroelectric and the mind. What you think is all within, that is all that is out, is within. You are inside and outside. Okay, we're going to take that 2-minute break. I'm going to get to the questions. I'm 28 questions behind. And now plus 136, last drop, Elise Kyle. I'm not really sure what that means. 136, 13.6, 616, 3 between 1 and 6. 36 is the base creation. Oh yes, inside the 512 also, the memory. The 22nd letter is go ape. When you get 22, the way to get 22 equals to 12 plus 10. But at the same time, it's 16 plus 10, 22 over to 26. We have to run 22 over to 26 because of the game of the gateways. When you stand on 17, it's a term in blackjack. I'm taking the break. I'm going to come back, talk about Sin City, talk about blackjack, talk about the 555 and what it means in multiple areas. It's part of our 512 memory, which is the Mars and the House of Bait. We're going to talk about Las Vegas and where all the numbers fly. And then we're going to have to talk about, okay, we got this. So just give me a minute. I'm going to be back. And don't hesitate. If you want to help out the channel, I have a PayPal where is it? What is it? Okay, and it's not just for today, but it's for every day of the year, right? And what am I looking for? Somebody just asked me. I'm looking for something very precious that we should all know and stand together, that when somebody lies and cheats, okay, we must be able to do something with that. We have to change. We must come back to our utopia world, okay, where it's chaos, not where it's being controlled. I'm not sure if you understood the context of that spoken reality, meaning most of you who know what I mean, right? I'm going to just tell you, did I show you this part? 2468, 2468. While on break, go look at the Jubilee. Go look at the doors for the Jubilee, because these are the doors. Go take a look at the makeup, and I'm going to and when helpers are going to need to open up their parameters. Okay, so I'd really like to understand that also. when helpers, mother's little helpers. So mother's little helpers, the computer system, something's going to come into us. It's going to be part of the just breathe, take in the new energies, find a new pathway, clear everything from your mind so these energies can just come in. These mother's little helpers will help you to eliminate your pondering, the way we ponder, what they call DR rugs, right? D rugs, right? Some of them are here to enhance our understanding and visions, right? To take down the guard with always having to go into the ego, right? Whether because it's always within the ego, I go, right? We're going to take Alexa, play smooth jazz for the
station, Smooth Jazz, on Amazon Music.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break. If you have any questions, any number, I can't give you the straight up, I don't do straight up, what do you want to call it? If you want me to read your zodiac sign, all I can do is tell you about your sign and how it interacts with numbers, right? I can do that. I also can explain to you how different numbers are connected to your zodiac sign, and I can connect other zodiac signs to your sign because of your zodiac sign, and with your birthday and the initials, your first 2 letters of your initials of your name, or your first and your last initial, I can also connect up other zodiac signs. And then if I had a list of traits in front of me, right, all it is I need a list of traits. You like tall people, medium people, short people. You like dark people. You like M&Ms. You like different chocolates. You like sweet. You like sour. You like sugar. You like salty. You like M&Ms. You like ice cream. You like a blue car, a red car, a Ford car. You like a bicycle. So all these things will all fall into your traits by understanding by the time and day of birth that you are, because in reality, there's only 8 around 1 on the wheel. That's all there is. When you have the cord to the wheel, there's 8 around 1s, and then the intensity of what palier, what level are you on, right? Dartboard shows me there's a 3, 2, 1 and bullseye. So how is that bullseye? How does that talk with the balance of my zodiac sign and fall to who I am? Because you're going to fall into a category. You're going to be one specific number. And when you are that one specific number, you're also going to be the number to the left of you and the number to the right of you. Because you see those 2 legs down there? One leg is here, one leg is there. And you're like this, getting ready for the run, for the pass. Because in life, you are the athlete in life, and you're a professional human. You're a professional human in life. You're breathing. Yes. Moving my hands, yes. Using my mind, yes. I'm human, I must be a professional one. Came into this world, I already got my gold, my silver, now into the Bronze Age. Right, here I am, I'm solid like a rock. I'm a professional human. You tell everybody out there, right, I'm a professional human. I'm taking a little bit to eat with my hot water, and I'm going to be with you in a minute. I have to eat, I'm starved. The other day if I didn't take a break, and they even tell you to take a break. I think breaks are good for you, right? Well, breaks are good for you, right? And breaks are good for you, right? When you see red. Now, breaks are good for you when you see red. You might take out a maxi pad. When breaks are good for you and you see red, it could be near the 4th 7. 4-7, right? Because that's when 4-7 is 28 for the cycle of the moon. When you see red, it means, before it was green, but now it's red. So red is to stop, green was to go. So why did you see green? How can green go? And it's a green go. But then if it's a green go, something to do with the sunshine. I'm going to have to run the sunshine. Now, is it an orange sun? Because I know orange is caution, and I also know you can have burnt orange if it's from the sun, and the burnt orange is going to represent HD, Harley Davidson. Also, it's going to represent Pluto, the planet. Pluto, the planet. All the vibrations from within your heart extend to the farthest and the coldest in the galaxy. Pluto, the last ending of the ice wall vibration. Off limits. No longer existed. Here from 1930, 1, 9, and 3, creation of the moon, right? 1, 9, and 3. And it moved its way over to the doghouse, 2006, eternally living within the game. 1 is out of the game, 1 and 5. 6 and 2 is the queen, 6 and 2 is the stick, 26 is the game. Alexa, lower. Lower. Alexa, smooth jazz, don't play that, they'll bar my video. Alexa, play 764 hertz.
64/7 and similar songs.
No, Alexa, Alexa. Okay, Alexa, play 528 hertz. Alexa, play vibrational music.
The station, Meditation on Amazon Music.
Look, I painted my house. Okay? This is very good. So, let me look at the questions while I eat. Sorry to be like this. Yes, okay. So, Go Rocking Robin. The rock. Okay. Mentioned many times. The gold is within the rock. Some kind of rotation between birth and life, or the light of life. Right? The word rock, R-O, is 33. That's where I get the gold part. When the CK comes together, the K can recreate a C, right? And we only get the K sound, rock. The K, because the K is the 11th letter, also known, right, as the K9, right? Also known as the K9. So, because it's 11, we know it came into the house of Bait. We know it had the father candle. We know it had the father candle. I'm going to explain to you why. 9/11. Rock is number 47. Time, beast, energy is 74. ING is for 30. And that becomes 9, 7, and 5. So between the birth and the sun, the ING could be the add-on of us, right, at the 7th gate. ING, the 9 birth, right, between the N, which is going to be within the sun, the IT system in the sun, and 14, and then it'll hit 29, and 29, okay, is the sentence period, right? 28 is one thing, right? That's when the stop comes in, the octagon 8, right? That's when Ramses comes in, stops the born. There's no birth when you hit the stop on 28. But if you don't hit the stop on 28, 29 brings the birth. This is a utopian world of numbers. On the 29th day, if you haven't seen the red light, make a spot. Then we're pregnant, and we're going to miss the next 9 spots or 10 spots. In a pregnancy, I think you miss 10 spots. 280 days. So now let me get on to this. Very interesting. I haven't heard that in a long time. Thank you, Michelle. Always follow your gut. You know, the GU and the QU coming together. Very, very interesting. I don't know why, but QU, something tells me about a tail. The GU, I don't know, because I know the level up from G is Q, right? GQ. It's a level up. It means you go up and you move forward, you advance. You move up and you forward, you advance. Because you're raising 10. And when you raise 10, you always move forward 1. When you raise 9, 10 versus 9. When you raise 9, you never move. You're in, there's no motion. There's 9 plus, I don't know, 6 equals to 15 equals to 6. So you never move with 9. Always comes back to either 9 or the number you use. 10 always brings you up a level. So 10 is going to be plus 1. That means 11 is plus 2. That means 12 is plus 3. And now the mirror comes in at 13. One of the things about 13, the mirror comes in, the teen is added on, and that'll be plus 4. 9 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 9 plus 2, 9 plus 1. Let me put the dogs out. I'm going to come back, read some more of the... Who knows best for you is right for you. I'm not to think about that. You want to go outside? Ozzy, do you want to go outside? Denver? I opened the door. It's getting cold. Okay, I'm shutting the door. Okay, just let me put this away. That was absolutely very good. I usually don't eat any tuna or anything, but this coffee I made sucked. So I'm gonna see if I can make a tea or something. Just give me a minute. Or maybe I didn't put enough coffee in, I don't know. Just give me a minute, let me finish this. Oh, the other dog's outside. Come. Come. Yeah, okay. Sounds good. S and G. quarter horse. Quarter horse. If I had to break down the word horse, number 65, I would break that down into, you see, horse is 65, and it's an 11. So that means it was brought, there's a 9. If there's a 65 for horse, is there a possibility it would be the 45 for fox? What would be that connection? 65 for horse, and 45 is its cross member for fox. So I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to understand the quarter horse. Now the quarter horse can also be a reindeer. And now I'm going to think of Santa Claus and everything else to do with that. So thank you for that information. Also, quarter, in the word quarter, is earth. It's also Aquarius. Now, for all of those that I mentioned, we live in the white sun. We just got a confirmation here that we live in the house of Pegasus, Andromeda, or Andromeda, in the constellation or area space of, I think it's NGC. Is it 7286 or is it 5281? I don't remember. I know those two numbers are very important, right? So the Aquarius, because we live in the sun, and the sun is, I don't know, this water that's in the sun, I don't know how it works. I really don't. I don't know. But elements are very small. So if we want to complement and understand ourselves, right, one of the questions is, can you see your heart right now? Oh, no, if you see it. No, you don't. You see your lungs? No, you don't. Do you see your eyes? Yes, I do. Oh, my God. I can see you're missing a tooth. Yes. I can see my face, but I don't see much anything else. And I can feel everything within inside of me. Okay, so let me clock talk 136. I'm going to go through TiCHeConnectT. There's like 50 messages. I'm really sorry about that. Harley Davidson is the orange beer and pretzels. Orange and A&W, right? A&W. A&W, Pluto, Goofy. What is North? I don't like to mention all the words sometimes. Sometimes there's people who take the words they write. I'm going to tell you right now, just in case they do it to you. What they do is you'll read somebody's comment, and then if you read it 2 or 3 times, right, it'll say something else, or if you speed it up, it'll say something else. So sometimes I'm not sure if I want to say some of the comments. Yes, Mr. Sounds Good, Mrs. Sounds Good. Ultra choice of who you are sounds good. You are a professional human sounds good. Green grow. And I think we can use that terminology because now on our shelves, right, we have to understand. I like to understand that how we came forward in time, right, is along with what was cast upon us. The words that we repeat or things that we will write or read, it's been cast upon us. It was like, how do we stop this? How do we stop this word from existing? Why is everybody existing? The songs, the music, it's all put out there. Is it put out there from the system, or those who are the what they call the portail organic? I don't know what they call them, like the fake people. They don't even know they're fake, right? They're just here for an alternative reason other than going into our science. We're each in our own head, remember, right? So let me go on. Yes, Harley Davidson is burnt orange. And the reason for that is for the letters HD, right? The D is the fourth area, the delta angle. I'm right now reading Jenny's, I don't really understand some things. England and France, NSA acknowledged. I'm not really sure what that means. NSA, I've heard of that before. Edward Snowden, NSA, I don't know, something to do with NASA, I don't know. Okay, number 80, the thing about 80 in French is it comes in 4 areas of 20. So that would be number 80. Also, right? Also, 80 is noted to be communication. 4 by 20 is 80 plus 4 plus 20 equals to 24. It's 10-4, right? So you have your star system communication between the I world, between the birth and the ConnectE worlds. The reason for that, if you look at the dice cube, right, it's a sky pass. If you look at the dice cube, you have 5 and 5. So let me get the dice cube here. So let me warm up my tea, coffee. You gotta relax. You have to relax. You have to relax. Please, Ozzy, please. I asked the good Lord to come down. I'm using some of my energy and losing a lot of my energy. So let's talk about the positive, okay? Let's talk about the positive, okay? Let's talk about the positive. Come over here. If I'm gonna talk to you, let me talk to you here. Come here, come here. Let's talk. Come on, come here. Come give me a kiss. Oh, come here, come here. Come here, Ozzy. Come here, give me a hug. Come give me a hug. Come on. Come on, Ozzy. Come on. Wow. He jumps on top of me all the time, and now you're not jumping on me? Ozzy. Ozzy, what's going on? Come, give me a big hug. Come on. Cookie? If I said Cookie, what would you say? You go, oh my God. Cookie! Cookie! Come on! Come on! Cookie! Okay, I'm gonna give you a cookie. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's 2:16. Oh my God, I have no cookies. What's this? Here. You didn't like it. Okay. 2:16. 2:16. I have to show you this. This is very exciting for me. 2:16. Oh my God. Where did I put it? 2:16. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. What a huge number. I found 2 pieces on it, and I'm going to look for it, so it's going to take some time. But in the meantime, I'm going to get back to looking at Q is a circle with a ladder. The cube, my question is it made with a 0, or is it made like this? Okay, when it's made like this, it looks like a number with a tail. When it looks like this, it's telling me a different story. It seems like it's the 8 areas around 1. Possibly. So let me look. And there's also, remember, we also have the rectangular bricks. So if I have a rectangular brick, I'm going to be doing maybe something like this. I'm going to have 6, 6, and 6 together. Maybe this is another kind of cube, right? 2 rows, and then I'm going to have 2 rows high, and how are we going to turn this into a block? So I'm going to have to get a bunch of these, right, and set this up and see what it'll go when I have a connecting 6. When you have a connecting 6, one thing about this is if you go to the game of roulette, right, you can put a chip here, right, and that'll give you 8 to 1. 4 by 8 is 32, right? 8 to 1, so you, no matter what comes in, you get your 8 plus your 1. So you automatically know that the 1 and 8 fit together. Here, you have 2 areas, right? You put a chip here, 1 chip, you win any one of these 2. Remember the numbers, 1 chip, 2 areas, 1 area comes in, you get 17 to 1. So you get 17 plus you get your 1 chip back, you now have 18. If I put a chip over here between the 6, all these numbers, right, I get 5 to 1. I think it's 5 to 1. So now you're talking about the E world is an association of 6. 5 to 1, you get your 5 plus your 1 back for 6 areas. If I put it right on any of the 6 individual areas, 1 chip, 1 area, 5 that have not been touched, you get 35 to 1. You get 35 plus the 1 chip. 35, 3 and 5, 8. 3.5, the center of the cube. 17 to 1. Right over here, number 17, a connection to Mars, 2 areas. Or here, or here. There are 6 35 to 1s. 6 by 35. Six by 35 equals to 180, and 30 equals to 210. Let's say call it 21. Very important, 210. 0, 1, 2. If you want to know about it, you're going to have to remind me 0, 1, 2. All the numbers divided by 3. That's all I have to remember to do that. Okay? 35 is the center of the cube from 6 sides equaling to 21. All the connections of that 21 is what is going to be noted to be 7. The center to a cube the center, the opposite sides are 7. 3.5 is at the center, but that might be inside, can I say the vortex or the passageway? There's 3 transfers of light that happen between the 1, the 3, and I think the 5. That's your ace sun division. I don't know if it's 3 wings that branch out. You know, the poles that branch out, that's where Taurus, I believe, would come in from Aries. So yeah, going to see where I am. So we did the horse, we did the quarter horse. I said quarter and I brought reindeer up because on the Canadian quarter is a reindeer. We need to understand, in order to do what I do it for A, it's 60 from the 60s. I'm 60, I'm in my 60 years, okay? I was born in 1963. Okay, so I use all that I have grown up with. All that I saw, all that I heard. I spoke to somebody sent me a message, I sent them a message. I watched TV. I took into my jug. Some of it turned to ice. And the other, what didn't turn to ice, right? Well, that's inside of me. It's moving around right now. What didn't turn to ice? What did turn to ice? Right? What is that difference between the water and the ice? What is the difference now to understand minus 18 or 0 or 31 or 32 or 33. The 31 is 1 degree below where the freezing mark is, meaning that you freeze at 31. At 32, you're on the level of the mark of freezing. So if there's a fluctuation, okay, in the temperature, right, you would have to go down to 31. But now it depends what the fluctuation is. You might even go down to 30, 29, 28, 27. What is that fluctuation in that temperature for the freezing point? Also understanding that once you go under number 32, right, and the difference between the number you achieve, let's say 27 and 32, that would be 5. That would mean that we have entered into the freezing area, and my fluctuation now between the high and the low point being at the freezing point, right, can only be attained if this, or this happens. And it'll say that for each of the temperature. I create games that help to understand differences, right? It's like the sine wave. How much will that sine wave be? Will it be for 1 moon? Will it be 2 moons? Or will it look like 2 moons, right? What is the numeric value or height to get? Is it more bearings to pass the chain? And are the moons like this, or are the moons like this? As you go up, is our system going this way, or is our system going this way? So you're gaining height for moons. So now I'm 42 messages behind on 1. So I'm going to keep it like to the minimum. How are you, Dushwa? Dushawa? I can say it, Dushwa. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yes. 0, 1, 2, 3 is just like A, B, C, D. Yes. Okay. That's cool, Tammy. Okay. So now, whoa. Okay, I have to go back on TiCheConnectT here. So I got to give myself 100 likes in my break time. If you spend 5 minutes with me, if you can learn something in 5 minutes, if you want to come and waste your time and try to figure out at what time you're going to understand something, if you don't, ask. If you want to come here and you don't have much time and don't waste your time, then come here with a question. Guaranteed, no time wasted. You're going to get an answer from me. 99% guarantee. I see your question if you stay here long enough. That's the only problem right now, is me not seeing that question fast enough. So let me go down here. Okay, are you asking? Okay, so let me see. King Glor straight age on dads. 80 from what year of arrangement? 80 from what year? What is, okay, so now that's a far back question. I'd have to go. So you're going to have to open up with me on that, right? Oh, I just saw you invite. I just saw you. I wish I had a mirror so I can show you what I'm looking at. Peace and abundance. Peace and abundance. Abundance is when it overflows and you can give back. So you are born the 200th and 166th? Oh, okay, 166 to go. Okay, 199. So I think you're born at the end of July. Is that correct? So, wow, that's pretty interesting, eh? It's pretty interesting. So 6 and 6 will create a 3, or you have a 7, 6, right? So 6.5, the horse or your power is your gateway. You have the half-life at 16. 16 is part of the day. 8 is the night. You're 66, you're at the heaven's gate right now, because 66 comes together. You're on level, what I call 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I like to call it 4, 5, and 6 because, and now this is, don't forget, there's a lot of realities to this, is that when you divide 3 by 4, it equals 133. When you divide 3 by 5, it equals 1666. So the number of minutes, number that you fall on with the 166 is in the 5 position. It's in the E-World Connect. So you're passing stars, so everything passes through you with the number of days that are left. When you're running with number 99, although 66 runs into the rotation of number 30 of that, it'll become what is Venus, okay, and the sun Ra. Okay, so you're now going to be, everything again goes around you. The 19 is also going to be connecting the AC to the DC moon, because 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, right? So it's going to be connecting it to the Mars cycles moon into the house of Bait, right? Obviously, right? 3 times 6, 3 plus 6. Again, 27. You're now, everything that goes around you would now be in the at the 7th gate in the house of Bait. This one over here. The 9 and 9, 18, 19, right? Well, it's going to go down to 10, and you're going to go 13 down to 4. Communication, everything goes around you is communication. Do you seek out a lot of communication? Or whatever I say will always be that or opposite, exactly opposite. Okay? We begin to see once we assimilate to the radiant reflected from our heart. Okay, now I'd have to go a little bit, but I like that assimilate because the 8 is in, so now you're connecting all the portals. Your ASSI, the IM is in, that's 99, okay, or 999, so would that be the silver or gold position? Melate, dilate, okay, or melate, some sort of an association, a continuation. And I'm just trying to read through the letters of the word. You have SS coming together, so it's multiple moons. Can't see the forest for the trees. That is quite interesting. So you're in the forest. So if I'm in the forest, do I call it a forest, or I just say that's where I am? But if I'm in the field and I look towards where the trees are, you'll say that's the forest, right? But it's not a forest, it's just a whole lot of trees next to each other. And forest is also talking about 4, right? Trees will be the 3 that go into the 4. 3 goes into the 4. That's what it seems like. So it's our recreation came into the 4th house. Something like that. I don't think, or the 4th house came into our 3 creation. Yeah, we are breathing in. We are freaking in the white sun. Like, and I only saw that today, right? And I'm going to get to the number 216 and the moon and how that works out. There was a calculation I did early this morning or late last night after midnight, and I got 216. Anytime I get 216 in something, I'm excited, right? I'm excited. 1.5 times the day, we are born on the day, right? We are born on the day. We cannot possibly be all, right? We become half at 12,960. We become the king's cycle or the full cycle, right, on 25,920. But we can't base it on 25,920. I don't know, because when you complete a cycle, you complete a circle. We're always these half circles. The half circle above with the half circle below. I think you can turn it to the side. I'm not really sure. I'd have to think about it and have to think about why. Also, I have to see the artwork that's relative to it. Yes, Tammy, thank you very much for the love out. 4 is a treeville. Oh, I like that because 4, right? Wow, I like that. That's funny. 4 is a treeville, which for me, it's the city of trees, which is the city of threes. Right? Watch out for that tree. 4 is for us. For us, universal soldier angels. So let me continue on. You says it's okay. Hold on. What is it that is disturbing? Because I'm catching up to these comments a little late on Mr. Air Fa. I can't read it. AFA, Air, Earth, Fire, Trees. Oh my God. The coffee's sitting there. Thank you. Wow, I'm so happy I'm drinking this coffee. I'm even going to make some color commentary on this coffee. It sucks and it's cold, so I'm going back. I'm going to be back again. What I want to do for the people on TiCheConnectT for a minute, if you don't mind, on YouTube, right? I shouldn't do this. Right? Is if those of you who've never seen what my apartment looks like, there's a couple of videos under art. Who art painted Picasso, Mr. Tacpans, if you go onto my channel. If you just give me a minute. Hello, sounds good. Yeah, and I'd love if everybody, I really prefer everybody. I don't like any of the what social medias, but if you have TiCheConnectT, it would be easier for me to follow you there. I don't know why I'm on it. I think because I made 14 cents yesterday. I made 14 cents yesterday. I made sense of it all. We need our senses. We need all our senses. Why do you think they took away, why do you think they made you pay with 5 and 10 cents? Right? We stop at 95. Otherwise, it's $1. We go from Venus to Earth or to Mars. But we never get the star system anymore. Why don't we get the star system? When you take the penny away, when you take that away, you can't get 99 anymore. You can get it, but it's lost. And it works like this. And 1, 2. If you're at 93 cents, you will pay 95, add 2. Okay, I'm going to show you this. If it costs you 3 cents, add 2 moons, you pay 5. Your communication. Here it will say pig. It'll be the 11th zodiac sign, base of creation. It's also going to say Leo, the 5th zodiac sign. Number 23, W, B, and C coming together. When you come over here and you arrive at 4 cents, you must pay 5 cents. You're all in the E world. Here you're add 2 and 1. Here you're minus 2 and 1. The sun and the sun. Perhaps we don't have to add the sun because it's already born between us. So we now minus. 7 becomes 5, 6 becomes 5, 4 becomes 5, 3 becomes 5. 3476. If you look up orphan roulette and look what it shows you. There's two sets of numbers. And 3476 surrounds the center over here. Or is the voided area between here and here and here and here, here and here, here and here. Voided area. The distance between 7 and 5 is 2. 1 is the difference. 6 is the matching number, 4, 6, 8. The difference between 5 and 9 is 4. Between 6 and 8 is 2. Always 4 and 2. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals 6 and 8. Separation of the seventh gate. Crisscrossing this all over here. We'll show you that reality. The cat's gate. The communication of the cat is on both sides. But the dog locks it in. The dog joins part of this world and part of this world and locks into two worlds. While the cat is complete in this world over here, in the whole world itself, and in your world, and in the opposite world, and in your world. I'm going to show you the design if you want to see it. Right? The basics of the communication lies amongst the dog and the cat inside the gateway. Dog 26.8, cat 24.6. Here are all hexagons. They all have 6 sides. They all represent the cat. When you put the 4 hexagons together, you end up with the octagon, 8 and 6 coming together. This is your core to life. When you come into action and you awaken during the day, these two will squeeze together. And you will be awake on the cross. And I can draw this a little bit differently because I can put this up or down, right? And then this over here, when it's squeezed the other way, it becomes like this. So you have 4 cats into one dog. And I'm going to show you that star system, partly star system, is right over here. You live between the split sun, right over here, to this side and to this side, sucking out the energy, pulsating it through this one major sun, perhaps into our singular moon, which comes out of the moons of Mars, whichever way they're connected. Perhaps the moon of Mars is right over here and right over here. But maybe there's 2 moons of Mars here, right? Maybe when I do this, maybe I'm supposed to be at this angle. So maybe they look further away than they are because the angle is off. Because I measure the flat line, the dead line here is measured at 180. But I have 180 here for one side and 180 here for the other side to complete a full separation. We have the 90 angle here talking about one side, the letter L, 12, not talking about both sides. It's split by the I letter that we should live between R and R, 18 and 18, or the 18 that's in the center, that's split between 9, 9, and 9, being in the house of bait. See this thing over here you see on the dollar? It's connecting both systems together by the foot, by the earth, your footing. You're footing on a flat surface. You're not stepping on the rock. At the same time, if you take a look at this, I'm going to give you a different way to look at it, if you can. Would you see it as at the distance? Do you see this at the distance? You see this? It's a long, 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 long walk. Anything on an angle is also showing distance. So you have common sense. Come on, come on. So listen, you have mock, right? You split the word between M-O and M-O. Okay, so let's just look at the beginning and the end. I'm trying to see how we can, and then when there's an even amount of letters in a word, what I like to do is instead of going, I'll take the first 3 and do my one game, and the second 3, I'll do my other game. I'll use the extremities on each, and then what I'll do is I'll go C-O-M-M and grab that, and then I'll go N-O-M-M and I'll grab that, and I'll tie it together, right? Or if I want, I can tie it at O and O, and then have only the C and the N on each end. Just like I was showing you before, that when we do certain counts, If I have a total count of between 26 and 36, I'm going to count 26 to 35, and I'm going to count 27 to 36. In this one, I don't have 26, and in this one, I don't have 36. Always leaving one out. No matter how big your square is, you only have 8 corners. There are 16 area pieces. The memory on the trains, 152, 16, and 1 equals 169. It's a 13 by 13 area. Your memory sitting right over here. Every corner is square, call it a minimum of 4. Every property is, or every area space is like this, rectangular, call it minimum of 2 if you're going to be building. So in a utopia world of building, knowing we have a square here, starting with the minimum of 4, right? I can't be just 1 square because here it's high and there's more. There's 4 here, there's 2 here. It becomes 6, 6. It becomes 6, 2, 2, 10 for every corner. But when I run this line all the way up to the center and all the way to the other side, it tells me that I need these 2 properties, making it 14 to every corner. But anyways, don't want to get into that monopoly. Number 31 is go to jail. It's not JV. It's not just visiting. And the game shows me it sits this way to my eye. It's not this way to my eye, or is it? Then what's going on? See where the jails, the angle of the jails. Anyways, let me take a sip of this coffee. I have to go back to explain Sin City. And I'm going to answer all these questions, these comments. I have to go back and see what I missed. And feel free, I don't know if I have the invite, or people ask the invite, or how it works. Let me look. I don't know what's disturbing air tree or air free. I should write that. 18-wheeler drive on. I'll tell you one thing, going on the road, you know what the hardest thing about driving a truck, one of the hardest things about driving a truck. Number 1 is everybody has a schedule. You have to meet the schedule. There's no time to breathe. Now, if you take shorter routes, it's a little bit different. Your time to breathe is a little bit easier on these short routes. But I'm not talking about small deliveries, because when you get into a truck, my son told me he made like 300 deliveries in one day, or 300 packages. I'm going, in 8 hours you deliver 300 packages. I find it insane. You don't stop. You don't stop. You don't stop. It doesn't seem like it's good for you, and yet it is good for you. So it all depends. The work environment is so important for the mental health. And we do need a strong mental health. And we do need honesty around us, so we don't have to deplete our game energy, because we're professional humans. We are professional humans. When you come to this channel, I think that's what I'm going to start doing, reminding everybody that you're a professional human. You were given life through birth. You were born. You had the receivership. However you were connecting, you were able to breathe the air. There should be no charge. There should be no charge to breathe the air. There should be no charge to drink the water. How do we separate all these elements, humans, from each other, so that we don't get into each other's way? Because me getting into your way is me getting into my way. If I'm in your way, then you're in my way. If I created this game and everybody was me, I'd have to set up a system that makes it fair, that we all understand when we're in somebody's way, when it can be taken in as known as ours. Or how come it's always theirs and theirs and theirs? At what point, right? Because somebody used their brain differently or was luckier, that they had more, somebody had less. And then what they did is all these lucky people bought a lake and they all put their houses around the lake. And now the lake I used to go to, I can no longer go because of 20 people. 100,000 people can no longer go to the lake. And then when you do have access, what I have heard and what I have seen in movies is somebody pays somebody from the neighborhood, right, to do something really cruel and ugly around the lake. And now the neighborhood pays for security because they caused it themselves just to be able to warrant the security. What a crazy, cruel world we live in. Will it ever change? Will we be moving on into a new world? But if we aren't inflicted with a certain amount of chaos, then how would we know the difference? How would we find the pleasure if we don't have the problems? The thing is, there wasn't that many problems before until they started to create it. So the system is wrong, or something's wrong in the system. I use the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn with 12 gates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you used 6 and 12. If I had to make up anything, I like to stick with the sun, and then Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Earth, and then Earth brings in 1 moon, and then Mars brings in 2 moons, and I would work from there. I would work everything out from there, and then knowing the combinations, all those combinations, I would combinate them in order to create, let's say Neptune is the 8th planet, right? So I would combinate with 1, 2, 3, 4, I would combinate 1 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 8. Now, I know I need to create the complete zodiac 12 signs. So what would I do next? Would I add another 4 onto my 8 to connect my 12 zodiac sign? And I would then get into Pisces. So would I do this? Does this work out? If you add on, let's say Aries, and I'm just trying to think, you add on Aries, Gemini, and Cancer to create a Scorpio. So now that we created Scorpio, I want to create a Pisces. So I go ahead, okay, and I add on Cancer to this equation, and now I have Pisces. Now, if I wanted to find Aquarius, right, in this situation, right, I would take Scorpio and add Gemini again, another Gemini with that. So if I didn't add the Gemini, what I would do is I would add both Aries, right, and Taurus in order to make up what is Gemini to Scorpio. Why do I need to double up in order to understand my Capricorn? Why do I need to understand what is happening that I need to understand? Can I reach Capricorn, right, if I do not have Pisces and Sagittarius? No, let me do this again. If I want to make my Capricorn, will I be using Aries with Sagittarius? What is happening? in this. We have to understand through all our numbers 1 through 9 how we make up the rest of the zodiac signs, the combinations that come together. So let me look up here. Yes, I have to go back to where that 216 was that I found in my dream last night. It was freaking amazing. I have to find this here. Just to note that 63 and 36, I don't know if I want to mention that right now. Just let me leave that out for a second. Where did I? Oh, yes, I remember, I think, where I found that 216. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I remember. I have to find it. I remember it in my head. Very exciting. Yes. Okay, that 216. Where did I write it out? 4 times. Just give me a second. No, I lost it. Just give me a second. I'm going to be with you in a minute. So let me go through these notes. Use Tropic of Real Chimes for East meets West. Find your egos and study. Egos. No, it keeps telling me about the goose that flies south, right? Why do the birds fly south in that one? Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, or aftermath. Neptune, Pluto, Uranus. Could have been a pun, P-U-N, pun for those planets. Inside Neptune, I see neuron. Inside of Neptune, I see neutron. Inside Uranus, I'm going to have to think about that. Part of the RAM is in Uranus. Hello, Ray Van Spell. Welcome. Sorry, I'm not sure how long you've been here. Hello, kindness. How are you? Whoop, they moved me. They jumped my aftermath. Okay. Our bodies are perfect design, user-friendly, yet many don't know the software and malfunctions, right? And we're being put through the washer right now. Thank you, Wandering, for the galaxy. Much appreciated. I'm not sure how this all works, but just thank you very much. Okay, anticipation, yes. Okay, so I need to find the 216. Now we can use the 216 as we can use it as 216's letters in the alphabet. We can use 216's zodiac signs. We know the combination connects to the moon. So let's take Taurus, Aries, and Virgo to create that. But it's 21-6, which tells me the cube on the 6 sides are all welcome. 1 through 6 equals to 21. I don't like that. I just know it's a moon connection. So let me see where I can find it. Please help me find it. Okay, yes, I'm also going to go to the crowning. Thank you, Tam Purdy. To the crowning and the birth, if you want to know about what's happening while the child is being born according to numbers. And I'm only going to give you a bunch of basics. I have that here. The dangers of day 29. Just give me a second. Where is that 216? Wow, and I wrote it down clearly. Yes, another thing about, no, that's 222. Wow, I don't have it here. Oh, it was just huge the way I got to 216. You do know that a day and a half, right, is 2160 minutes. You do know that, right? So I'm going to leave that part out. It's really bugging me, and believe it or not, it's not going to be easy to find because I have 4 books open at the same time. So yeah, that's not going to be easy. Just want to take a look at something. Just give me a minute. They're showing my league rank, and my league rank is at 59, 28 to rank up. I have no idea what that is. I'm just taking a look, trying to learn. Topic couldn't be changed during live. Let me see this. Thank you for all the gifts, much appreciated. I'm just going to go over a bunch of things before we get back to maybe work out with Sin City. These are all obligations. This can be used in an area space that crosses like here. 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 This can't be used, this one, this one, this one. This one here is going to show you the separation of the windows over here. This one over here, see the way the X is over here? Take a look. Take a look deep into the area space. Take a look deep into the area space. Whoop, my pen moved. Right? When you take a deep look into the area space, this is in between an area. You're not allowed, right? You're not allowed, right, to go straight through. That's a no-no. You have to reach point to point. If we did this over a mile long and you looked at it from a distance, or if I sped that up, you would see it doing this as the sine wave. Our heart beating, right, the heartbeat of us has to have a movement in an area space. So in order to go from here down to here, I have to go this way, then I have to go this way, then I have to go this way. It's an obligation. It's an obligation. It's a heartbeat. Over here. The same thing happens over here. The same thing is happening over here. Do you see what's happening over here? What I showed you, okay, in this area space, what is happening, take a look. I'm not sure if I can show it on both cameras, right? The reason for this one is I started here and I was short. I had a separation right over here. See my separation right here? So my only way to do it was like this. I couldn't do this any other way. You notice the way is it the same as this way? This one comes out, this one goes down, this one goes this way. Do you see I did it this way? Sorry, up there, and then this one down there. Just because I added on the tail, you see an alternative effect, right? Because I gave it a little space. Here's the same thing. I'm going through a straight line zone, except what I did is I jumped an area. The other thing you can also do with that, you're allowed to jump we're allowed to jump like this and like this as well. 1 by 2 areas, 1 by 3 areas. When you jump by 2 areas, it's going to be a Mars-Moon jump because you only have a single line area space between. When you jump by a 2 area, you have a whole cell in between. This area over here, there's going to be a heartbeat or it's going to be an operator that's going to move within there. This one is going to be the Earth one, the lunar moon. This one's going to be Mars. Jump by here. We didn't make one jump. We went up and down in our own zone. Let's call that maybe the 5th move. The V has a 5. The E is a 5. The S looks like a 5. The V is a Roman numeral 22, 22 for life. There are 1.25 days after the 13th moon at 28 days. How we can make that up is 5 times 5 times 5 equals 1.25. I like to do it that we are 22 into life. We are living inside the ring where 22 is constantly moving. 22, 22, 22, 88, 22, 22, 22, 88. As that 22 moves, 14, 14, cycle of the moon 28. 14, 14, cycle of the moon 28. You're going to see 14 around here, and you're going to see 22. There's 36 that go around here. This flat face to a builder, that flat face to a builder is going to show you this 9 area spaces, right? Each area space has been marked with a number. If I just marked number 1, you wouldn't be able to count them all with your eyes, so I'm helping you count. I just want to see that something over here. It says guess. What does that mean? Guess, host. What does that mean? 0 guest, host, viewers. I'm just trying to see. What is this? Guest showdown, countdown to all, notice board. I'm still trying to. There's another one that says, ask the expert. I don't really want to ask anybody. I don't want to interrupt my live. Battle of the best, skill sprint, make me laugh, take me out, let's go party, let's talk, countdown to Christmas, trivia time, share your passions, swap tips, discoveries, new interests with guests and viewers. What is that? I just want to see, choose as reference. Okay, I've never did that. Manage guests. Right, so I don't know. I've never done that before, so I'm not going to do it now. So let me see. Over here. So let me take a little drink of this. So what I was speaking about before. Okay, I'm going to get to this. Yes, so what I was speaking about just 2 minutes ago, because sometimes there's new people here, right? Oh yeah, we're in the ring. Well, when was 216 you noticed and remembered? Oh, it was either late last night or early this morning, but it was huge. It was huge, you know, it was huge. We know that 72 times 3, right, is 216. We know that 72 is in the house of bait. We know that 72 or 27 goes with 17. Area space. We went up a palier in the house of 911. When you go up by 10, 17 to 27, okay, and I should mark that down even though I did it 100 times. When you move up from 10, let's say 17 to 27 to 37, right? There, all you're doing is you're moving up 1 degree. You do that 360 times, and you have a full cycle. And when you have that full cycle, you've filled in all your in-betweens, right? So 17 and 27, what I like about that number, oh, a second thing, okay, the major thing is 1 and 2 come together for creation. So that is, if you want to keep everything simple, the minute you see 2 numbers that are the same, right? If you have 4 numbers, you have see 2 numbers are the same, like 7 and 7, create a 5, and then 1 and 2 create a 3, because you're bringing the 2 worlds together. 17 and 27 is 44 area space. It's also number 35 electric company. It's passing through the moon. This one over here. See this over here? 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 is going to create 16 and 8, or 168 hours in the week. 16 hours to the day, 8 hours to the night. 2/3 day, 1/3 night. We can say it's 12 and 12, but it's not. It's just not. Another thing about that is when you get the 16 and 8, we're also going to look at the 12 and the 4, which go along with these numbers. What those numbers are the purple ball in pool. It's the only association. Now, should I have gone to any other ball to create those numbers? Well, if I went to the 13 and the 5, I'm going to get to the 18 and the 18 and the 5. If I talk about the 13 and the 5 ball, right? 12 is going to be the female, purple, the red, and the red, right? Look at number 12. 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 4 come together, right? On the bottom 5 with 1 and 3 and 5, right? Sorry, let me see if I want, yeah. With the 1, 3, 5, the 4, 5 is the female, it's the sun, it's the passageway. The 12 and the 13, the 12 is the female, it becomes the E. The 13 becomes the G. It becomes 5G, bringing the 5G together, the delta into the E world, right? You add and you minus, it becomes 18 and 5. It becomes E and R, the electronic world. The 13.5 is the division of the alphabet, and it becomes orange. It also says ACE. It now says possibilities. It split the sun up into 3 different sections. Sun's been split up into 3 different sections a long time ago. Possibly that was one of the first moves, is to darken everything and then add in this moonlight. Once they added in the moonlight, they were able to bring back the sunlight. But now it's not a sun that is everywhere. And the area space you live in, the partial sun, not only to say the sun in the sky, but within the realm we live right now. I am in the room. I am in this room. I am in the whole room. I can't see the room, but it's here. The same thing with the sun. I see the room. When I went outside, I saw the house. I don't see the house because I'm in the house. I live into the house of the rising sun. I am in the house. I am in the sun. I live in the white sun house. But because we all imagine, or possibly some of us imagine, that it is orange, this sun is white. Don't you feel how warm you are? How the electricity, when you breathe, your heart beats, firing you up? You are 98 freaking degrees. 9 times 8, 9 plus 8. 17 and 27. You are the one spirit at the gate, connected to both one moon and one sun of what you know, and the 2 moons of Mars. Or let's put it in short terms, Mercury and Venus have an inheritance through the moons. The reason why Mercury and Venus don't have any moons is because they are the moons. They are just showing you that in this game, something had to live, but you can never have it. The same thing when you look in the mirror. Where am I? Where am I? You're there. You're in the game. You're in the mirror. Do you see you without a mirror? No, you don't. You act upon and you create in the area space you move. You move amongst the energy. You breathe in that area space that you occupy at the moment. Inside and out. I occupy an area space. Imagine you took my measurements. Let's say you took my measurements 6 by 1 by 3. I would be 18 cubic feet, right? I take that 18 cubic feet and I bring it into a room that's 100 cubic feet. Does the room become 118 cubic feet? No, it's the same size room. Now I'm occupying a space in that room. I am breathing the air in that room, therefore we need more air in the room to breathe. It's telling me to invite a lot of people. And do anybody ever ask to join my channel? I'm gonna look that up right now. And I really want to remember, and I don't want to use up anybody's time for that 216. It's the fertilizer. So let me take another look. I went to sleep. Oh, maybe it was the book. Wait, I was on the couch. When I found this, I was on the couch. Now, which book was on the couch? Because I brought them all here. So let me look at these books. Okay. Another thing, I want to get back to the importance of 1, 4, and 7, which is really crazy. Because 125, which is 5 times 5 times 5, plus 22 is 147. 147. Our creation base. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 4, 12. 1 and 2, 3. 3 times 7, 21. 2 and 1, 3. How many times did we repeat 21 to be 3? 33, 36. 36 is the numeric value for 3. 3 times 1, 3, add it. 3 by 4, 12, add it to 3, 15. 3 by 7, 21, add it to 15, 36. 3, 12, 21. CLND. and U. Now the third house is created by creating the first house. And it creates 36. And A and B, when put together on here, when putting A and B together on here, you can create a 3. Your 3 goes with a 6 void. Here's the face of the phone of the calculator. Your 3 goes with the 6 void. Your 4, or your L angle, reflects 4. 4 and 4 reflected. We now that connect them together, 5 connects 9. 4, 1, 4 connection. Now what do you see in numbers? You might see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But at the same time, right? You might also see this. Because I'm not holding it like this, or holding it like this, or holding it like this. 963 147. Different ways. It doesn't only stay, it's not stagnant. It's a perfect world. It's a utopia. I like that. I believe, right, very good, very good. I like to look for words like that. I believe, my belief. So why don't we just mark the leaf? See, we also have to look at a pine needle. We also have to look at cedar trees. Trees that stay the same color all winter long. I'm going to be taking 1 minute. I need to get a glass of water. But before I do that, I'm going to check to see, right, if I can find the, yes, I'm okay. We're going to go to the penny off the market. Okay. Might talk about, if you want to talk about why 80 is communication in the bronze world and 88 is that communication. That's the house gate we're looking for. It's Pegasus. It's Pegasus, NGC 7286. We also have to look at NGC 5281. Okay, these were big in my earlier years. Okay, NGC 7286 has never left me. Okay, we talk about the 512 memory that comes into the E world. Okay, and when the 5 and 1 connect, that's Mars. When the 5 and 2 connect, that's Earth. 103 connects September. It also connects JC, 10 and 3. But I don't like to look at 13 as 10 and 3. I want to look at 13 the way they show me. 9 and 4, 13. 7 and 6, 13. 8 and 5, 13. It shows me the reflection at the 7th gate between 6 and 1, 7. Between 4 and 3, 7. Or if you want to take another look at it, we're looking at the way of the ram. And remember, the angle is important. See that? Four connected to 7 and 4 connected to 3 and 9. 4 and 3, 7. 4 and 9, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 7 and 4 come together. Then what we're going to do When you connect your 6, you connect your 6 to 1 for 7, you connect your 6, 7 to 13. So now you have 4 with 3, 7, right? And 4 with 9, 13. 9 is your birth. Then what you do in order to bring your birth, to understand your birth, now we're not in the same house, this is an even number. It's 2 times this number, it's 1.5 times what that payout is for this, right? 6 times 1.5 equals to 9. 2 times 1.5 times. 6 and 1 is 7, 6 and 7 is 13. We're at the 7th gate from the 9 birth. The connection is going to end up being right over here, 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6 is the Federation. 4, 5, and 6 is going to connect cribbage of 121 area spaces, or 1111. I'm just trying to think what was I talking about? 11, 11, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, the Federation. 4, 5, and 6. Yes, Saturn squared. Would you like to see Saturn square? And it turns into 1776 Saturn square. At the same time, I am going to try and find my 212 by sitting silently here for maybe 2 minutes. I'm just going to either get something to eat in the kitchen. Pegasus, right? We live in the sun right now. How can I say, I mean, when it gets really foggy, right, outside, I just don't know which way to look at it. Or can you say we live in the cloud of the sun? I have to say we're not in an empty space. It's filled with energy, with oxygen, with hydrogen. We can't change its anatomy. Hello, Rick. How you doing? I want to see if I can do multiple guests or something. I don't know. I'm a little nervous to do this. If you'd like to ask to join, are you allowed to ask to join? View more. Let me see this. Just give it a second here. I'm just looking at my stuff. Give me a minute here. Enhance. It says enhance. No, don't want to enhance anything. Oh, I want to see something. Let me see if I can do enhance background. Here's a background. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to do something earlier. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Whoa, I didn't want to do that. Just hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. Something just, yeah, so I was never able to do that, but you see that, you don't see this from YouTube, but this is what I'm showing right now, okay? This is what I'm showing. So this doorway, right, there's 8 and 8. You see the door? There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I was able to put a cube on it and connect. These are 2 separate doors. When they went in, right, for the Jubilee, there were 2 doors they opened. 8 and 8. 88 is Trump. 88 is purple. 88 is Pegasus. Pegasus is the square planet. They went in where the cube was. They're checking out the microprocessors right now and getting them ready. Opening up the gate. So you can see in the background right there, right? So let me see if we got any other background pictures that we can share. I'm going to look to see if I have any of my pictures with me. No, this is too big. Let me see this one. Now, to see when something's too big, you can't see it, right? Well, let me see. That's just a design. And so yeah, you can see the back of my apartment, right? For those who don't see what's going on, I'm going to show you. Right, this is what's going on. I'm showing this off right over here. Yeah, so you can see this is when they took the penny off the market. Okay, so I'm not sure what you can see. Let me see what you're seeing. Let me see. Okay, you can see that pretty good. Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna just hold this up for the other group. Right, I don't want to interfere. Right, let me see if I can just do it this way. Right, so we can see all the lines, right? These are 36 connections of dots, 3 different rows of 12 going north and south, and then 4 by 3 sections of 12, right, going across. So we can see that, right? Just give me a minute. I'm just going through a few pictures on the other screen. If you want to join me on TiCheConnectT, that would be just fantastic. Although I prefer to stay on this channel, you know, both the channels. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to see if I can how all the cubes set up together, or that's too big. These pictures are just too big. So yeah, so let me take off the background. We're gonna just put myself back here. Sorry about that. When it's foggy, you can whoop, hold on, just everything fell down on me. When it's foggy, you can see the web. When it's foggy, you can see the web. Oh, I'm just, hold on, I'm having trouble setting up my my camera here. It just keeps falling down. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I am like, imagine I have 10,000 videos, right? I'm like, just like, I don't know. So let me see how I can invite guests. I want to see, do we want to talk about, how about the penny still circulating in the US? Yes, because you cannot remove everything from the system, and it has to go by acceptance. When you remove everything from the system, you are no longer sharing the dinosaur, right? So if they did take a penny off the market, they would really have to convince you. But since USA is a 3-letter configuration, right, we have a basic star base that comes out of there. There's 2 words, 3 words, Canada. Then we have provinces. P for province. The split of the P in the spade. States. The S connecting the wings together for the Star Spangled Banner, for the wings in Oh Say Can You See by the Stars Angel Light. So let me see what I can get. Interact. What is this interaction? So how would I just give me a second. They say, I want to see how I can, no, face, new face, atmosphere, no. What is this? No, I don't, that's not me. You know, they put me on that tiger face, but I really like that when I'm home, but not when I'm here. Hold on a second. Now I don't know how to get it off. No. Okay, perfect. Just give me a second. It said I can set this up with other people here, so I'm trying to understand how this works. Co-host with other creators. See, when I'm not in my house, I really don't want to co-host with anybody. Leslie is live with 11 other guests. I can nudge her, but I don't know. I'm a little shy for some reason. Her just joined. Hey, her. HEERRH. Okay. Just take a 2-minute break here. Oh, I got it. Oh, God. Take a 2-minute break here. If you'd like to help support the channel, be much appreciated. Not just for today, but for every day of the year. Because there's 365 days a year in a 4-year, 461-year cycle, right? 1,461-day cycle. Is that what our cycle is? I got to eat a little more. Penny Lane, yes. What is this saying? What does this mean here? There's a CA. Yes, I just had a little bit of tuna. So many things here. I don't know where the 216 is, but before I went to sleep last night. Hey! Hey! Did he get in there? Seven times 30 is 210, and 7 times 2 is 14. That's 224. I know it's going to be a multiplication of something, right? 216 is 48 and 48. 48, is it by 48? 216? I don't remember. I don't remember. I said, oh, I'll never forget. I fell asleep. I was tired. Okay. So this is what happens in these numbers over here. Right? 1 lives between 6 and 2. So every number that's going to create 1, right? Every number that will create 1 that lives between 2 and 6 2 and 6 is the queen. 2 and 6, 62, 26 is 88. There's a passageway between the singular moon here in the doghouse, right in here. That's something else, right? So when you're in Canada and you walk up or go into a store to buy something and it ends in a 3 cents, then what you're going to do is you're going to pay 5 cents. It means add on 2 more. Your creation added on 2 moons of Mars. But when you came into the mirror world, right, you only added on 1 lunar moon or 1 sun. When you came into life, right, when you came into life, you minused 1, like the sun, right, because it's now a half sun. You've added on into the E world here, right? Now, this is a plus, this is a minus. This will become a cross, this will be a crossing line. On the crossing line, you had the 9 and the 18. On the crossing line, you have a partial window, okay? The eye is going to fall on a line separating 2 bricks. The eye is going to talk right away, okay, about Mars. But it's a linear line. It's a single line. I need 2 lines, I and I, to create an operator, a separation, a movement between 1 line that separates between 2 lines. You follow what I'm saying? It's a square paper here. This, okay, shows me my Earth heart. So I squeeze this in and I walk on Mars moons right here. The lunar moons in between the Mars moons of balance. Or I separate it and I go to sleep at night and it becomes 180 degrees. You see the separation here and here? I'm not sure, let me see it. And I separate, let me see it myself here. Yeah, there's a separation line in between. So here I have a separation line in between instead of having a full block that's in between is here. So I'm not sure, and I have to take a look at these 2, but I need to do this on a computer because it's a lot of erasing and redoing it, and I'll just lose myself in the translation of the art. Silver, silver, so they trap the E with 3. That's very possible. Or they overlay it with 3 and they receive all the information coming out of us and then they reassess that information, and when they pump out a new energy, it's pumped out over who we actually are and then into the system, so it goes along with our proper frequency. So we can't possibly tell whether or not we've been hijacked or not, because it's not what comes into us, because what comes back into us is ourselves with a little twist of ourselves. They're just reversing one of our frequencies within us. When I breathe in and breathe out, or if I spit into something and you can read it, right, you might be able to move something around within my thoughts, right, and then spit it back out. When I receive back my own personal energy, I'm like going, well, I don't remember that, or I've seen that before, right? So let me get back to that penny thing over here. So if I have to pay 3 and 4 cents, when I pay 6 and 7 cents, minus 2, minus 1. So 3, 4, 6, and 7 are all going to refer to the E world. 3, 4, 6, and 7. Minus the sun, add the sun. There's one area, when you're looking at area, is this your PM, right? The AM and the PM, here's the plus. Here's a plus and minus and minus. I believe we live here, in this area here. at the 225-degree mark, right over here. When we go from here to here, it's 675. The soul, the water, the electric moon, 88, a passageway into the E world. But we need to understand, we need an area space of life. And that's where that bow tie comes in. And it's like an enclosed wall inside this area space. Because the minute you make angle in area space, you automatically create a corner at the same time to that area space, showing me there's one roadway going here and there's another roadway going here. And this can be a corner. We can be walking this way on the sidewalk and this way on the sidewalk. Otherwise, we can see this as distance. Here's the minus area. Here's the plus area, plus minus, PM and PM. So we have the PM, right? And we have that menstrual cycle, other than what can possibly be what is the AM, for my understanding. I need to understand that a little bit deeper. So yeah, let's go back to the penny again. So when it comes to the penny, and I'm hoping everybody can see this, when we pay 8, the heaven's birth, when we come into the house of bait and then under the 12th zodiac sign, what happens? We have to remove 2 to revert back to 10. There is no third zodiac sign, but when there is a 13th, it means we came back to the first. But like the first, okay, and the 13th, it's not the same. When we get to the 13th, unlike being at the, I didn't have the first. There was no first because there was nothing to pay. With 1 and 2, there's nothing to pay. It's at 0. But like in the game of blackjack and card counting, we have to understand that we start with a plus. Before we begin counting, we're going to start the deck with a plus because it gets too confusing when it gets to 0. So even in that game, 0 became confusing because the 0 mark can be me taking these 5 fingers and these 5 fingers and putting them together by creating 3 fingers and a hook and 3 fingers and a hook and connecting 2 and 2 to 3 and 3. Where 2 and 2 is Mars and 3 and 3 is Earth. Will I do it this way and put it together? Look at that. Look at that association when we do it this way, right? Take these 2, I put them together, right? And what's funny about that is that these, right, are basically is when you go bowling, you're using these 2 fingers in the ball with the thumb. The thumb is now using your center finger, so you don't need these 2 fingers. Make this Luna, make these 2 fingers the moons of Mars. Inside between, perhaps we're connecting direct to Mars. Is that Mars to the sun? Is that Mercury over to Mars, AD? I don't know. Or AC, sorry, AC. So I connect them together. Connect them together. I got my church on this side, and I got this on that side. This is what it would be looking like. But that would be my plug. My 2-1 plug, my 1-3 plug, I don't know. So anyways, this is what happens when the penny comes to the market. +1, -2. Your base creation is within 3. Your 3, 4, 5, 6 goes to the E world. It goes, the 8, 9, 11, 12 goes to the star system. 20, 20 to what is 10, 10. 10, 10, 20, 20. When you go in time, and you talk about 80, right, or 70, you're going to say 60 plus 10. When you go to 90, you're going to say 4 20s plus 10. When you go to 80, you're going to say 4 20s. 81 is unlike, when talking in the 80s in French, it's a little confusing when you're a younger person and not, when certain things sorry, maybe it's when you're French and you're English and you hear number 80 and you decorticate it to say, well, when I say it in French, and if I count from 80 to 89, when I say it in French, I'm going to go 420. Okay, I'm going to go 420. Then I'm going to go 421. Then I'm going to go 422. And then I'm going to go 423. And then I'm going to go 424. Because when you say 80 in French, you're going to say 80, and that's this. When you say 81 in French, you're going to say 4 times 21, which is 81. So you're going to think that it's 21, because 21 is this, 22 is this, 23 is this, 21 is this, 20 and 1 is this in French. That's how it sounds. We end up with 21, blackjack, in Pluto, into 3 cycles, 28 days of the moon. 4 times 20 plus 4. Here, we're going to go 88. This is your gateway of Pegasus. This gives you life. This gives you the void on the ring. 14 and 22. Here is your base creation. Remember number 92 or 29? The IT system in the sun. It only connects, okay? It only connects, okay? On February 29th is the beginning of that connection. I just want to do something. 216 432 57 432 648 648. It may have had something to do with temperature. You know that? I think it had something to do with temperature. I really do. 648, 864, 864, 1092, 216, 108. 8 and 6 is 14, 18, 2, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 88, and 28. So 216, 21, 60. I don't remember, but I know I divided something very small, right? I divided something up and it ended up to say 216. And I forget what that number is. Oh yes, here's another thing. Number 78 breaks down to 39. 39 and 39 is 78. 87 breaks down to 435. Okay, I'm just trying to go through my numbers here. I know number 29 times 3 equals to 87. Okay, so within your creation gateway, this is a connection for number 29. Sorry to be all around, over the place. Okay, for number 29 or 92, okay, is what's going to be the heaven's gate, right? You're in the heavens, you're at the gate, you only need the gate if you're 9 birth, if you came into the 9 birth. When you take the gate into the 9 birth, as the 6 of life, your 6 of life comes through the heavens and connects up with the 2 moons of Mars and the 1 moon of Earth, equaling to that 7th gate, 7 and 8. 3 by 29 is 87, 12. 78, add up 1 through 12. October is 78. So 39 is angel. In the 7th inning stretch, 6.5 innings played, which is the horse, which is the reverse of 1 and 2. Reverse of 1 and 2 is 6 and 5. When reverse of 1 and 2 is 6 and 5, okay, the 1 and 2 itself is 8 and 7 void to what is 8 and 7 void is what is 3 and 4, okay, void. What is 1 and 2 dot is what is 6 and 5 dot. The 3465, when crisscrossed, will bring the male and the female together. 3-4 void to 6-5 dot. When I take the 6 and the 3, this becomes male. I take the 5 and the 4, this is the female. The separation in here is 4.5. Well, guess what the separation in here is? It's also 4.5. It's 1.5 separation, bringing Mars, bringing the female, Mars separation to quarter house, bringing that female in between the male, or the male within between the female. There's a fox pass, which is in the male in your creation. 4 is the mirror of 3. So we intertwined and created like that. That's, I mean, I don't know if that's coming across properly. Let me see where else we can go. Yes, at the beginning we talked about Sin City, and Las Vegas and Nevada brought in a lot of new sports teams, and that's for the finishing of the processing of the numbers. That's what I'm thinking about. I wanted to leave this video also to say that when you got the 13, right, it was the final crossing that when you came into the mirror world, right, when you connected to when you're going to connect to your 10 worlds, right, your 13, okay, is then going to go along into the 10 worlds, into TY. Here you're going to go 20. Right after you get two 10s, it becomes 20. The 10 is no longer there. You now go into the teen world, and you only achieve it at 13 because 10, 11, and 12 is like 1, 2, 3. We only begin to mirror at 4, and that happens at 13, and then we add the teen on. When we get to 17, we've come into the gateway. So 17 in French is now telling us, right? 17 in French is now telling us, because in order to get there into the 17, I must come into the mirror world. So your 17 is telling you 10 minus 7 is 3, and then plus 10 plus 7 is 17, and there's a separation. Now 17, all numbers should be multiplied by 3 or 4, right? And then added up to see what denomination figure you have. So when you have 17, you can have 34. And when you have 34, hold on a second. Seventeen, 1 and 7, 8. 3 and 4, 17 and 17, 34, 7. 51, 34 and 17, 51, 6. 68, 6 and 8, 14, 5. Now what happens with this is 8 reduces. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You know what goes up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 goes down, 1 goes up. The heavens of the one spirit relies in the Q gate. This is going to lead us into the house planet, the vision of the 7th gate, the silver matrix, the 45th day, the fox pass. It's going to explain the female in the beginning creation, or the end result of where Mars connects. This is the silver matrix. This is where Mars is over here. So the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, this totals 119 or 911 coming into the house of bait. This 85 and 34 is 119, so you've connected the birth inside the house of bait. And to end this video, we're going to go back to yesterday, and there's still some I left out here, is when we come into, just give me a second over here. Yes, let me see, did I get this? Yeah, okay, so what happens is over here. When you have all the days of Hanukkah, you ready? All the days of Hanukkah. I don't know why it says there's nobody that joined after this, right? But when it says all the days of Hanukkah, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7, plus 8, okay? 1, this is going to equal to 36. That's our basic creation, our 36. This is going to create the house of bait, number 27. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, right? This is the male creation. This breaks everything into thirds. When you add in the shamus, the candle that lights on day 1, when you bring in the candle that lights plus the first candle, on day 2, it's what? On day 1, okay, it's candle 1 and 1. The Father candle. The Father, the Son, and the light. Then it's 2 and 1, then it's 3 and 1, then it's 4 and 1, then it's 5 and 1, then it's 6 and 1, then it's 7 and 1, and then it's 8 and 1. This is the lighting of the candles. Now every single candle is going to have a value of 24. So on day 1, you light up the value of 48. On day 2, you light up the value, on day 1, you light up the value of 48. This is when you have the Father candle. Here is just in the days, and there's no helper candles. For the candles alone, we end up at 216, right over here. The 9th candle is the moon, 216. Here is the week at the 7th gate. Your 144 coming into fruition is 1.5 times this number brings you your 9, which is your rotation. Your rotation is through the sun and the moon. Here is when the Father candle comes out, and it brings you into the heavens over here. Here, it brings you into your 9 birth. But when you have the Father lighting you, it lights you in the heavens, it lights you in the birth. Without the Father candle, with the Father candle. The thing is with this, is it's not these numbers exactly. It's going to be you're always with the communication in the house with the cat. See, it's going to be looked at this way. Every single day is going to be a 24. It's going to be 24 and 40 and 48 on day 2. It's going to be a 24 and 72 on day 3. It's going to be a 24, okay, on day 4. A 24 and 96. So what you see as a full number is the hidden number here is the shamus has enlightened you. And when the shamus enlightens you, you come into the 8 heavens, 2 to the power of 3. Before the shamus enlightens you, you are enlightened through the moon of the 9 birth. I think that's where my 216 came from. Okay, I just missed a whole bunch of comments, so sorry about that. Oh yeah, it's definitely an overlay. Yes, it's definitely an overlay, and I'm not sure exactly how it is. I'm not an electrician, but if I had an electrician here, or somebody who knows about computers, somebody who knows about plumbing, somebody who knows a little about psychology, all these things are implemented to understand the equations that go along in order to see how this system is made. Whether they're using it against us or for us is something different. How many single flames total? Well, there's a total of single flames. There's a total of, let me see, 360. 72 and 72 is 144, and 360 and 360. 360, 144, 720. See if I got that right. 4, 8, 12, 14, 24, 34. Okay, 3, 4, 3, 12, and 6 is 18, and 4 is 22, and 2 is 24, and 9 is 33, and 11 is 44, 45, 46. 46, put down the 6, grab the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the same amount of candles, 864 burning lights of candle, 86,400 seconds in a day. The sun, the gateway, is 86 to what is Zion, Israel, 64, the E world. The seventh gate to the E-world, 5775 living amongst it. 432, half of it is our vibration. The line of the heaven's birth, which only runs through the 7 and the 8, there is no 9. There's a 7 and 8, there is no 9. So in this one over here, I can connect 1 and 2, here I can go 1 and 8, 9, 2 and 7, 9, 3 and 6, 9, 4 and 5, 9. What is this? It just means I retake these numbers here and I do the connection. I just want to make sure I'm on this page, and I have a page here that's open. I need to put this over, and I'm going to do this 9 connection. 9 number, okay, 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5. You notice that it's 1 and 2. Like, check it out, right? Check it out. Check it out. You have 1 and 8, 9. You have 2 and 7, 9, right? Now you got to go to 3 and 6, 9. But living is the sun lives between the heaven's gate, and not this one over here. This is supposed to be the male. The 4 and 5 is supposed to fit in between here. Instead, this is fitting on the beltway over here. It's another one of your 9s, but it's in this area over here under 3, 6, and 9. All of this will fit in between here. All of this will fit here. I'm not sure how to reconfigure this because this is only a single dimensional, right? This is only a single dimensional. So what we did is, let me connect this. This will be 216, and this will be 216, and here it is. When I connect my 9 system, I get 192 and 24, 216, connected to the moon. I get my 168 and 48, 216, connected to the moon. I get my 120 and 96 connected to the moon. Each one of these are going to tell their own stories, but in the basis of all the stories, they all fit into 24, they all fit into the 7th gate. If you wanted to look at this as planets, we're going to call this the ox and the rabbit. And then we're going to go rabbit, and then we're going to go to the goat. And then over here, we're going to go to the horse, and we're going to bring it back to the ox. Then we're going to go over here to Sagittarius and bring it into Virgo. We're going to take the 9th, we're going to take the monkey and bring it over into the snake. We're going to take what is Aries, bring it into Taurus, create Gemini. We're going to take the rat with the ox to create the tiger. What does that combination do for you? Area space. So we can see what happened. Now, if I connected this to the 11 world, I don't have an answer over here because it's an empty space. I cannot connect to a 9 when lighting up. Without the Father, I cannot connect to the IT system of the birth. But I will get 264, 264. This one here and this one here. Let me do it. Let me do it. The 11th is going to connect 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 4 and 7, 3 and 6. Just note that this cube, okay, is inheritant to these numbers. The face of all of this is exactly this. They are the same. Your telephone, the ATM, all there is they have different instructions, different ways of using them. Treason, right? It's treason. Corner, I like to use as thirds and not quarters. You have You know what's funny? You can call it the floor, and you can call that the ceiling, right? You call that the ceiling, you call that the floor. What if I didn't use the ing in ceiling? What if I didn't use the ing in ceiling, right? What if I didn't use the ing in ceiling? That would be like a seal. I think you beat me. Let me see. Yes, so thank you, Miss. Thank you, Cherry. Okay, now I'm not sure if Atomic Nick, are you still here? Okay, I'm gonna go over this with you. If you ask me, I'll go over this. Um, You know what? You can hang through number 9. You can hang through number 9 if you're looking at it as the one pin that has everything, but it depends where you put that one pin. There you can put the one pin anywhere. That's the thing about that I love about this. That if I would pin up in number 8, right? If I go to number 8 section, should I take a triangle? Or should I take should I take a square or a triangle and put one pin on that triangle? Should I be looking this as a triangle, like a 3D triangle? A 3D triangle has 3 corners and has 4 flat sides, right? It has 4 flat sides. It has 3 sides, and then one side is 4 sides. So a 3-sided triangle has the floor. Can we fit all the 9 numbers into that? I'd have to look at it, right? I like to look at the bases as on flat paper, right? For now, or right now at this moment, because I'd have to put my head to it and do the artwork. And I'm like Neanderthal man, you know that, right? I'm like Neanderthal man. Like, I mean, I see 2 sticks and I'm like going, okay, 2 sticks. And then we get these engineers and going, oh yeah, 2 sticks, we'll just carve a head out of this one and we'll do with that. I don't have that technology. My technology is to understand the small differences. So when Cherry said 4, right away I did this. You know the way I say 3 sides? You know the way I say just 3 sides is a 4th floor? Well, now I'm going when you have 4, or you actually spoke about quarter, right? And the quarter would be 4 quarters to a dollar. But the thing is, if you have the ceiling, I have 3. I have the ceiling, and I have the ceiling and the 2 walls, 3. Otherwise, I have the floor and the 2 walls, 3. But when you're talking quarter, I'm talking 25%. I need 4 quarters to make that. I have the 4 quarters. I can use 3 above and 3 below. The difference is the area space in between in order to connect all the walls together. And even when you have the 4 walls, your 4 walls comes with a ceiling and a floor. Unless you want to be triangulate. So then we'll have 3 walls and a floor. And at the same time, we have angles. So now we have to discuss angle and height to better understand what's going on. What is the minimum height you can have? So if it was 3, we'd have to start out with this. This can be split in half. So I'm a little tired right now. So I am going to take a little break. I haven't been here as long as I wanted to. I don't know if there's a 5-minute delay to the stream automatic Nick. Can you, I'm on TikTok. Maybe if you go check me out on TikTok, although I'm going to tell you, I am certainly, Yes, the shamus, the ham, the communication within the ham, the last candle of light that give light to all the other candles, right? There's one shamus of light, right? So if you had to light up, and why I call the candles 24 hours to the oil, right? Because if the oil was burning, it'd be burning for 24 hours a day. So the candles are reflecting the 24 hours. So now we also have to note, what can we also call this candle? So it's CANDLE, and now it's candles, add the S. Once you add the S, they're connecting more than one system together. So yes, what time is it? Let's see if we're 5 minutes apart on the stream. It's 4:09. It's 4:09. What time do you have? When I raise my hand, when do you see my hand going up? Anybody see my hand going up? Tell me when. Tell me when you see my hand. 22:09. Okay, so where you are, you have 22:09. So we have the same time, except you're in a different time zone, right? Let me see that. 16:10. So we're at 4:10. You're 8 hours difference with me. You're 8 hours difference with me, Automatic Nick, right? So we're basically a few minutes apart. So is there a question you have about numbers or about the zodiac? And I'm going to right now, like in real time, to explain to you exactly what I'm going to do to get to your to explain to you your zodiac sign, or I will tell you exactly how this sort of thing, what I'm doing right now, began and where all my information comes from. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. That's okay. That's okay. Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on. I've been here for 20 years. Okay, so I'd have to look up that word. Just give me a minute. My camera is going to disappear for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to be back again. I have to look something up, and I only have one. So apparently, I looked it up, and theology is a religious belief and stuff. I'm not sure if I want to go on to what is my religious belief. What I will go on is what I have learned is that in order for everything that I have shared, for the truth that it may be upon your own skeptics, okay, comes from everything that has ever been created on this planet, all the mathematical equations in which the numbers talk about or are created, okay, where the numbers are created from other numbers. So the science would be a mathematical science to see what numbers say about each other. Before I put words to or analytics, I want to know what the numbers will say. This way we can come together mathematically, right? Now, what I believe is that everything, if I was to create anything in this planet, right, if I had to recreate my own world, how would I do it? I want to know everything that's going on. So I believe that we are the extension of the Creator, the hands, the ears, the mouth. Okay, we have free will within the system. And the reason we have free will within the system is because, first of all, we signed on a non-disclosure agreement in our DNA, which is 5G ET. The reason I say that is DNA is NDA, non-disclosure agreement. DNA is number 19. It's going to connect to a moon. It's going to connect to the 9/11, born into the house of bait, a house that makes you stop, rethink, and go. The devil's house, right? The analog and digital house. In order to learn for ourselves, and if I was the God in creating, I'd want to know everything all of me is doing. So you all breathe in the air that I breathe in, that every time everybody breathes, I breathe you in as a whole inside this analog digital system. And unless you give more or less a complete free will without blockages, except upon ourselves, laws, basic laws not to drive cars into each other, excuse me, right? Science is making 1,000 mistakes. So if you made a world but no mistakes, you'd have no science. If God thought it knew it all, it wouldn't have done this. If God thought it needed to do something in order to survive in the universe, the area and space, collective energy, it needs to expand its 512 memory. 5 by 5 by 5, 125, 512, bringing Earth and Mars together. 1 between 2, between 2, between 1, between 2, between 1, between being awake and being asleep. And when you're awake and you're asleep, you're actually, according to this, is you're just moving to a new system. Right? You're just moving to a new system, awake and asleep. I learned most of my stuff, all of it, all of what I know, I learned through games and obligations through games. If you want, you can ask me about that. So again, back to the theology. That's a really base word. What is your base on? It's a godly system. Is that what they're talking about? A godly system? Okay. What does God want us to do? Well, it's pretty simple. There's 10 rules. It's a star system. Every piece of the star reflects on 10. It also reflects on this side and then this side. We have to have all our thoughts. And it's not your choice, right? It's not your choice to say what's right or wrong until you understand how is it right and how is it wrong? What are the consequences, right? On the 29th day, right? On the 29th day, when it arrives and the sentence is still going, you end up with 25 years to life after day 5, right? Because 25 years to life, when does that life end? Life apparently is a 3-day period, right? It ends in between the 3rd and the 4th day. We end up in the pole. It takes 8 of those 3.5s to end up with the full cycle period at the 28th day. If you pass the menstrual cycle period, it means that you're impregnated on the 29th day, bringing in the first day after 28 becomes 28 plus the 1 day, right? What happens to that and why I say that? Not only because there's a deck of cards, not because number 29 is your first connection, right? But it's your first connection when the shamus candle comes out, okay? It's the first time you can connect 2 to 9. You can connect 1 to 8, you can connect 2 to 8, you can connect 3 to 8, but then your creation comes into the heavens, and 4 to 8. When you don't have, like I said, where's that shamus candle lighting? That shamus candle lighting right over, hold on a second. Well, I lost that candle page. I don't know why. I lost that candle page. Here's the other thing. When you're connecting, right, your 8 days, I have nothing in between here. 0. When I connected the other candles, right, when I connected the other candles, did you see what happened? Here's my 8 candles. I don't have the 9th candle in here. If I would put a 9th candle in here, the 9th candle would be 120, and that's a gateway. And I would end up, let me see if I can do this. Yes, I did do it. I did it down here. 48 and 216 is 264. 120 and 144. Unless what I did or do is I have to put a candle in the center. Now, would I call it a single candle and put 24 in the center and restructure my numbers? Or will I just do it this way? Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have the same 8. We have the same 8. Okay, I have a little, not an error, but we have the same 8 in both of them, meaning I only go for 8 days. But if I did go for 9 days, if I did structure, just let me see this. I'm not very happy that I have this now. Um, wow, I'm tired. Tired. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to stop. Just a little overtired, but I'm gonna try and see if I can answer more questions. Um, Let me tell you one thing. After I do this, I empty my head. I completely stop thinking. I went through that a long time ago. The dreams every single night. I just couldn't stop. But when I got to a point that everything is just, I understand how to put it all together. I just keep moving things apart. I know I'm not going to forget. I came on here on the videos and you can see the interference from the dark, right? You can see the dark, the way the energies have changed. At least my iPad now is not working like my Android. We're working in these digital formats that we're no longer seeing what our eyes should actually see. We put on glasses, right? Because without the glasses, we're actually seeing the energies more. With the glasses, we're not seeing these energies, we're cutting through them. The same way you don't see the sun or the moon that we live in right now. The area space, right? This whole area. Like, you want to know if it's round? Oh yeah, it's round and it's flat at the same time. It's round and it's flat. Yeah, I sleep. I'm like a good sleeper. Um, I I am no. I'm gonna just tell you no. I have Art Mr. Tacpans on Facebook with a bunch of notes. I have the commentary area of in my YouTube account of all these notes. Um, but I have some TikTok. I have about 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 videos of 90 seconds or less. I'm in my shorts on YouTube. Um, this is why I came here live. My coming here live is because no one's coming into my house and picking up all these books, right? No one's coming into my place picking up all these books. So I've been putting this out here for 20 years now, 10, 11, 12,000 videos, right? And I figure if we're going to work together, we have to set up a system amongst us where different bunch of people watch a different bunch of videos and restructure everything that they've found in this, and that we can put this into some sort of Excel or quantum Excel, right? And we can't cheat anything because I'd have to pass it for approval, right? And then once I pass it through approval, I'll pass it through everybody else to see if we can tweak it or torque it and how we can get this into formation. That's why I'm here live right now. Right? We need a system. I also need an income. I've been really putting my whole life into it, right? This is how we connect our numbers up. These are Tetris pieces. This is your 180-degree plane when you sleep at night. Your R and your R sleeping at night, your 18 and your 18 high is actually the heart of this cube is 18. It goes around. Everything on the cross is 2 by 2 and 1 by 1. Everything in the corners is times 3. When you take apart Rubik's Cube, it's a singular cube, right? When you count this area of Rubik's Cube, right? This area, it's a single cube. It'll have 3 colors. If I count 2 in here, here, and here, I'll have 7 colors of Rubik's Cube. This one over here will have 3. So what I'm going to do is Rubik's Cube will be 2, 3, 2, 7. Then I'll do this side, 2, 3, 2, 7, 7, and 7. It'll be 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3 in colors. If you want your birth, I'm going to show you any side. It doesn't matter which side, but you're going to have your 9-face birth. And you're going to have your birthday as you rotate around here. Every side is going to be 3, 3, 6, 9, 12. And then you have your different levels. So your zodiac signs are going to come out, right? Now, I'm assuming, I don't want to get into this right now. I'm just a little bit tired. So, yeah, everybody's on vacation this winter right now. So I'm watching dogs. So, and they're like, that one's over there. I don't know where the other one is, but they are kooky, nutty, and I got up late today. It's 4 o'clock now. They're not getting fed till 5:30, which means at 6:30 I'm going to take them for their. I don't know how long the walk is going to be today. It all depends. And Mr. Keys to Wisdom, if you want to go check out a channel, check out the Keys to Wisdom. He's an alternative reality to the same reality that I already do. I still have to learn that piano thing. You can send it to me again. My computer went down. I'm going to have to reload stuff into it. I have to fix it, so it's sitting at home. I'm using my 12-year-old computer. It's like I've been doing this for 20 years, and if you take a look at my videos every single day, it's like I just began today, right? You know what? There's so many people that just go out. I can go out in the winter, like right now, I'm used to it. I can go out with a pair of boots and shorts and underwear. That's how I can go out right now. I have absolutely no time for it. We are in utopia. To know that the system I have is utopia, it's a fixed system. There's no decimal. If there's decimal points, it's bringing me to a location. When there's no decimal points, if there's decimal points, I might add on a 1 or a 2 to make it perfect. If there is a decimal point, I'm going to explain to you the situation of what is happening and why it's there. When we work with 9, let's call it 100% of 9. When we work of 8, let's call it 100% of 8. When we call it 7, I like to think a little bit differently because my cube becomes to connect on each side of 7. My first 8 is relevant right over here. That's my first 8. What I can do with this entire cube with dots and dashes, the story it's told within the cube. So if you'd like to help out this channel, I have a link through my PayPal account. I think it's paypal.me/Mr. Tacpans 7286. I prefer it over buy me a coffee. They take 10%. I prefer it over doing it through the YouTube app because I think they take like 30%. And you can find it at the beginning. If you also want, we can go over the times of the zodiac signs. And when different times tie into each other, just to note also that number 71, right? Number 71, 17 and 71, or 1771, right? Is a doorway of creation through Mars. Tennis, right? Tennis is 15, 15, 10. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 is your 10. 9 and 6 is your 15. Your birth to your light, adding on the moons. 6 and 1, 6 and 2, adding on the moons, right? Your 7th gate, your 7th gate. Your 5G, right over here, 7 and 5, the E world and the gateway. Your G is also going to be like a T. We move up the ranks. Every time you cross a line that you cross through number 5, that's an E. You cross through 5 once, 7 and 3, 10 and 5, 9 and 1, 10 and 5, 4 and 6, 10 and 5, 5, 9, 15 is the letter O. Oh, say, can you see? The 4-star or octagon will create 4 separate 3-star hexagons, communications within it. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I'm going to be shutting down and reopening something just as a test on TiCHeConnectT. I want to see how it works, and I'm not really looking to stay on there long. So, but peace and love. That's pretty good, 2 hours. I thought it was usually on most days when I stay here 2 hours, I find it exhausting. Sorry, when I stay here 4 hours, I find it exhausting. Today I stayed here 2 hours. No, we're not. Canada and the U.S. For some reason, I don't think let Vimo. I'm not sure. I just have PayPal. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Um, the metric system, the imperial system, Celsius and Fahrenheit. Anyways, it just all comes together. I just don't have the head to go on. Just to get you back with this again, right? We live, the ace, right, is a dividing letter. And also to note the ace letter, because it has a point, it's showing distance. It's almost like this is in the back side of your head and we're seen out at a distance. Be well and welcome. Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Remember two things. We are the professional humans. Number two, you get up, you choose, you decide whether or not you're forced into it or not. It's still you. Also, put into your mind right now, okay, and we have to know whether this is true or not. Is this true or not? When spade is number 45, it can be split into 22.5. It can also look like a raindrop within one side. It can also be seen two corners of the building. You can look at the two one-eyed jacks or the one-eyed king representing our planet, the two-eyed jacks possibly representing Mars, the valet. When you attain your first birthday, you are how old? You are 1. When you celebrate the year, you celebrate, okay, the end of the year. So when we go to celebrate 2025, it is not the beginning, it is the end. We are ending the year 2025. We are beginning the year 2026. You are human. You are a professional human. You are a professional human. Please come in here. I know nobody has time to spend 2 hours here, but if you have 5 minutes and you want to make it worth your while for why you're here, then come here with a question about numbers or a word. I'll work on that word. I'll work on the zodiac sign. I'll do personal workings with anybody that brings me their birth date and zodiac sign. I do not do, but I will do. I have to add it in, okay, into my understanding that if you're on all these numbers, what they mean according to the analytics that are already out there on the market. But peace and love. Thank you for being here. 45 is a Fox Pass. 38 is the gold. It also reflects the club. Okay, 29 is the IT system. It's our setup. It's our hookup, right, into our heart. Our heart is our heavens, right? Our heavens pass. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. The crevette, the Thai. Thank you for being here.